All right. We're running a little late, but when are we not? When are we not? Okay. Okay, alright, sorry, I'm trying to, like, fix 20 different things in the background right now. Let me just make sure that... Yeah, that's why. Shit. That's gonna be a pain in the butt. So let me explain. For one community, they require us to have version 26 of TeamSpeak 3, and that breaks the compatibility of the PvP plugin I have, so I now need to figure out an easy way to cycle through TeamSpeak versions in order to make that work, and it's just such a pain in the ass to work for so many different places. Let's get our prediction up. You know, like, I'm trying my best to get with everything and yada-da, but my god, people are making it incredibly freaking difficult for me to do my damn job. Alright, that is the final beep indicating that the round has started. And there we are. Oh, it looks like they cleaned up the interface a bit more for us. Nice. Alright, so we're gonna go a bit on old school today. I'm gonna make sure I'm unmuted, and then when people start dying, I'll mute myself on TeamSpeak, but that's fine. Oh, looks like there's also an assassination objective. I didn't include that in the mission, but that's fine.
What's going on?
Maybe it wasn't a good idea to unmute them, but who the heck knows. Regardless, this is Friday Night Fights. I will be covering all 3 rounds today, and then we're also going to be doing Daisy later tonight, and then maybe some super late night mission dev. I have a lot on my plate, and I'm just desperately trying to get through everything. Liru's a little rushed, but we'll get all the content out for you guys. Nonetheless, with Friday Night Fights, it's one life PvP. Both sides, looking at the combined player count, we're looking at about 75 players on tonight, so a little bit of under 36 v 37, plus that, you know, 5% number advantage on Op4, so 35 v 40, I think, would be a good description of what we got going. So about, you know, a little under platoon versus platoon strength. Regardless, let's go ahead and go over our mission details here. So our tasks today, Blue 4 have to defend 3 terminal sites, and there's also apparently a spy they have to eliminate. We'll get more on that later. Objective Blue 4 must limit spy location. Maybe hidden. So let me look on the map real quick. Okay, no, I'm gonna have to add that to the mission command, because that's also that's a really interesting idea. We'll see how things go. Blue 4 also must eliminate a spy in their AO. That's cool. Alright, regardless with that, let's go ahead and look back over everything. But otherwise, Op4 are trying to eliminate 3 terminals, and then their spy has to stay alive. In the event that Blue 4 have a terminal still up, but the spy is still alive, it's a draw, and I just refund the prediction. Nonetheless, briefing of this operation, 850 meters of render distance, 4 to 5 points early. Actually, wow, 200. That is a little, well, then over double. No. Well over the standard 125. It's not double, that would be 250, but that's a lot of fortify. They can definitely build a custom fob with that. Color of it's green because it's going to be in the forest, and then round time is 50 minutes. Notes, Blue 4's main rifle has been changed to a semi-automatic variant in order to match Op4's SKS's. The VIP is not a win condition. Oh, alright. Take it as a side quest with a little influence to the main story. So disregard what I just said. That has nothing to do with the win condition. It's just something added for Blue 4 to do while Op 4 moves in. I kind of like that. Alright. Background. A violent virus decimated a large portion of the population. What now remains of the local military units has regrouped in the no longer secret Tizzy military base. Meanwhile, the nearby survivors, who were slowly emptying the base in an attempt to stockpile weaponry and ammunitions, were enraged at the idea of the military, who previously refused to help the civilians, and now is in the possession of their quote-unquote gold mine of weapons and ammunition. They decided to take the initiative and send a spy posing as an ex-soldier. It won't be long until he is discovered, but until then he can forward valuable information to the commander of the survivor militia, which in theory should give the survivors a much-needed edge over the experienced soldiers. Mission rules: the spy may not spawn camp there. He's there mainly for doing spy stuff / getting information reconnaissance. The spy is excluded from the lone wolfing rule until allies come close. Once that happens, he should attempt to regroup if possible. Cool idea. Load up for Blue 4. The defenders here are going to be UK paratrooper base. Looks like Cold War-esque in terms of the webbing. We've got paras, so L1A1s, single-shot semi-auto weapons with M16s with 203 grenade launchers. Marksmen get the M14. Auto riflemen get the... God, is that a Bren? Might be a Bren. Otherwise, we have an AT4 and then an MG... excuse me, a GPMG. Let me quickly look. We'll know it's a Bren immediately if it has the magazine. Yep, that's a Bren. All right. Because it looked like there was a few different patterns that it followed, but where that magazine goes, that's always a dead giveaway. If it's a top load, then it's a Bren. Otherwise, that is it for their weaponry. There's no vehicles in this scenario. Let's go ahead and look over at OPFOR. OPFOR's loadouts appear to be SKS-based with Communist Militia, and then they've got AK-74s with GP25, SVDs for the Marksman Rifle, and... Jesus, PKMs. My brain blanked for a second. And RPG-7s. No medium machine gun, so I'm assuming Delta also gets medium machine gun. So Blue 4 get the better marksman rifle, an M14 with 20-round magazines compared to the SVD with 10, but OP4 get the better machine guns because a 200-round PKM is better than a Bren with only 30 rounds. So we'll see how well that qualifies onto today. But we got Blue 4 spawn, Op 4 spawn, the 3 terminal sites, and then the assassin target who is running around. But let's go ahead and look over who everyone is. So Kabubi Faye is going to be commanding for Op 4. Mike is going to be our spy, walking around trying to see where Blue 4 starts. Interesting call there. He also gets a GP25. I feel like the spy should not get a GP25. That's a really easy way to get a multi-kill early on. He should have just gotten like an SKS or something, in my opinion. Otherwise, Fawn's leading off with Snodgebear, Pupper, Nolik, Toms, Oddball, Whiteside, Crazy, Tundian, Renly, and Pierce. Bates leading Bravo with Latchman, Norris, Iqbal, France, Salvi, excuse me, Damien, Grass, Twins, and MLG. Gosh, blanked on that term. Charlie has Nemesis leading with Cullis as the marksman, Dobbs as the medic, Azariah as the 2IC with the GL. Charlie 1 has Flying Finn, Iander, and Yanni. And yeah, no, the machine gunner does get the BKM. That's funny. Then Charlie 2 has SL Dreamcat and Malin. Otherwise, on Blue 4 side, we have Eric commanding with Charlotte and Curie on Alpha. Curie leading from the looks of it. And then Charlotte has the marksman rifle. Patriot, Lolo, Misfit, and Major Khan in Alpha 1. Alpha 2 has Romlum leading Hans von Zett. His full name is Zator, but it cuts off. Wolf, Von Isles, Elfie, Mac Marine, Killer Cake, and Phantom. Bravo being led by NASA with Lolo, Bluck, and Ibnomain. Bluck having the marksman rifle, NASA having the 2IC role because he has that GL, and Ibnomain taking the medic role. Sayek, Misano, Cheeseburger, Depso, Kremet, Timek, and Smith all under Bravo 1. Bravo 2 has Omri, Tomer, Istimi, Tom, and Savet. I always love how we have Tom and Tomer, but there's never a Thomist. Maybe one day. Banks, Tackleberry, and Wheaton under Delta 1. Delta 2 has Maxic, Rambo, Bambo, Rocky. I love that. Avalon and Duodox just joined in to perform leadership, but that's the medium machine gunner role for those GPMGs, whereas Op 4 don't have Delta because all of their machine guns are the same between the squads, so they can just field the PKMs fine. Otherwise, really nice matchup. We see Op 4 is going to have at least 10 to 15 minutes to walk into the AO. I disagree with the mission dev's choice of having it be infantry only. I feel like Op 4 should have gotten some transport Vics. That would have made it a lot easier for them to walk up. I get why they did it, though. It's to give Blue 4 some time to hunt this assassin down because he can just, you know, run around in various areas here. But if he's a side objective, then giving Op 4 vehicles to quickly get into the AO wouldn't have changed much. It would have just shaved off, you know, 5 to 10 minutes of the op to have them actually get in and play. because all that's going to do is just elongate the time it takes for Op4 to get into the AO. Cars would not have changed a thing, especially since Blue 4 spawns right on top of their objectives to hold. So that's just the mission dev wasting everyone's time. No offense to the mission dev. I like the concept. I really like the assassin idea. It's just, as someone that's been making Zeus Ops since 2016, one of the things I specialize in is player-based focus and retention and combating what I call arma fatigue, which is, you know, when you've spent so long in a game, you just start getting bored, even if it's a really cool concept. So making the attackers walk 2 kilometers to get into the AO is, you know, you could have shaved 5 to 10 minutes off with drivers and been fine. Just with some unarmed transport trucks. That's all you needed. But yeah, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Hopefully, people learn. Regardless, where do you see Blue 4 putting some fortifications on the various terminal areas? This terminal, I think, in particular, is going to be a tough one to attack because we have these really nice fortified buildings here. And then the ladder is also pretty well fortified. Yeah, you can get right up to the top and throw grenades over, but if these guys are smart, they'll layer some fortifications or sandbags up there, but they're definitely putting those fortifications to work. And when we see the other one, they've been building a HESCO perimeter on the internal side. And it looks like they're just abandoning one of the terminals, because I'll be honest, this one is pretty tough to hold. There's not really any second story coverage areas, and where you do have them, they're very limited because the terrain, it's thick forest, it's on a hill. It's not a good spot to try to hold. So I agree with the calls that Blue 4 has made on holding these other 2 terminal sites, and we'll just have to see how things go. And then you've got this guy walking around the edge, just calling out. He's going to be able to tell the early fortifications. And again, I kind of like that idea. I would love to see this idea again in the future. I just don't think he needed a GP25. He probably just needed like the basic bitch rifle, and then that's it. I think giving him that grenade launcher is a little too overpowered. But we have safe zones dropping in 5 minutes, and we'll see how things go with that. Otherwise, I'm a bit hyped up on coffee. I've been very busy today. Tried to fix my sleep schedule. I succeeded, and then I still slept till like noon. So in the 3 hours between waking up and now, I've managed to... I'm trying to edit a new video every day to get it on the... whatchamacallit, on YouTube, at least scheduled, so I can slowly get through my backlog, and it's working. It's just, you know, going to take a month before that gets to any significant progress, but regardless, that's done. And then I've been kicking the can down the road. We have a Helldivers op tomorrow, which I've been getting people slotted for. We have a Zeus program, which we're going to be going through June and July. I'm going to do 4 Zeuses this time, give the Monday slot, give myself a little bit more time to breathe and work on other things, and then get, you know, this weekend's op scheduled and everything to go with. So we have that, and then, of course, content today. We got FNF covering all 3 rounds, and then later tonight we have DayZ. I'll have the lovely-dovely Plinko board ready to showcase my demise. We made the enemies on the DayZ server a lot tougher, so you're definitely going to get more bang for your buck, and I'm going to redo the Plinko board, make it a bit more simplistic because we made everything tougher, mainly because I don't want a simple resub to cause me to die. But I'm going to definitely make the combos more fun between 3 in a row and 5 in a row. So, joy! Oh, nice Obsidian. Regardless, I am here to chill with all of you. We'll see how the player base does over the next few hours, and we'll go from there. And between the rounds, I'll be going off and checking things. So, oh... 1 second. Going through my Discord DMs, I had someone DM me just now, and he says, hey, I'm 18 now, and I see in a previous conversation we had, he asked me how old he had to be, and we had this conversation a year ago, and he said, hey, I'm 17. But, like, today, he's like, hey, I'm 18 now, can I join ops? I'm like, yeah, you can, buddy, it's okay. Look, guys, 100% honest with you. In my community, I have to legally state you have to be 16 or above to play Arma, because in some countries it's 16, in other countries it's 18, so legally you have to go with the lowest denominator. I'm going to be honest with you, I've had people as young as 13 play my ops. They just are really good at hiding it, alright? They don't make dumb decisions, they don't act childish, they act mature, and they're able to come in, play, and we're unable to tell if they're, you know, 16 or 18 or below that age or blah, blah, blah. So as long as you're mature, You can go into any community and do anything. Again, as long as you're mature. I'm not saying to break your local laws. I'm just saying, how are people going to tell? Because there's very few communities out there that are actually going to ask you for an ID. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to give any community my legal ID to play a damn game. I think I've only had to do that once in my life, and that's for something else, but now it doesn't even matter anymore because they don't do that system anymore. So it's just like, yeah. Ay. You're going to join the 506 Forensic if you get through basic training in OSIT. I have room in 1-4 if you want to come join Vix and I. Gosh, Vix she'll be back, I think, next week. She would be on week 2 right now of series school. Because she's, good old captain in the army. Finally got her wings, can fly Apaches, but now she has to do all the training for it, so she's had to disappear for, like, months at a time. We get to bully her for it. It's funny as hell. I don't know if they need a dedicated medic. You'd have to look at the roster, but I know we have other slots, so. If I wasn't super busy, though, I'm going to be honest, I would totally gun for a squad lead slot and then just get a bunch of people, and I would completely change how we do things. I'd still do everything by their, by their book, but I'd have a lot more fun with it. And we would just vibe every op, but I can't make that time commitment. I'm way too busy with my life. And I'm going to be honest, like, I used to work with people. I've worked with Drewski on occasion. I'd work with Karmacut. I mean, I worked with him for like a year, and I never understood why they were so busy all the time. Like, the only thing I'd have to worry about is Zoosops and whatnot, but over the past month, a lot of stuff pertaining to the channel has started up. And now I'm not just focused on Arma, I'm focused on 20 other things, and juggling them is a gigantic pain in the butt. But regardless, operation has started. Let's see how things go. Blue Fort looks like they're going to send a few guys to sweep the zone here. Op 4, meanwhile, is he just hiding in the back of this truck? What a Chad. I love it. And then Op 4, the infantry are going to spend, again, 10 to 15 minutes coming around. They have to scale this massive hill as well. That's going to really irk their stamina. And then FNF does have a bit of a tough stamina setting. We do have some Blue 4 heading out, actually in 3 separate positions. That... Ooh, I get why they're doing it. They want to try to catch where Op 4 is coming from and then see if they can set up some defensive lines and then try to have some attrition to go with, but... very risky defense for Blue 4 to do. They really set themselves up to defeat themselves in detail, and Op 4 looks like they're just going to keep everyone together. But again, 2 to 3 clicks to move, depending on if they take a direct route or a side route. It's just going to take a while. So we'll see how things go. Poll to see if he blows himself up with a GL. I know the GP25 has like a 2-meter... arming, so I don't think you can point blank yourself with the GP25. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I know the Blue 4 one with the 203 and 320 system has a minimum det distance, so you can't blow yourself up with it, even though it's funny if you could, but I'm unsure about the Russian platform. But I don't think I've ever seen... I've seen people blow themselves up with their own grenades. I've never seen someone blow themselves up with their own GL in FNF. I've seen it before in Ops, in my Zeusing. I've seen some GP25s. They fire just outside of that minimum arming distance because someone runs in front of them. I think I've seen that at least 2 or 3 times, but never with the 203 system, because that one has a bigger range, if I recall correctly. But I might be talking out my ass, but I feel like I've seen it before. Like, it rings a bell. I just can't spot the specific memory, because when you have 2.5+ hours of game time in Arma 3 alone, everything starts getting a little fuzzy. 1-4 already has a medic, yeah. So Obsidian, if you wanted to join 1-4, you'd have to probably take either the machine guns or the AT slot. I'm gonna be honest, I'd go for a machine gun. AT is very funny. God, last not even, it wasn't an FTX, it was a main op. Last main op, I got so mad because I got killed. But we were ordered to a position. We destroyed a BMP. It only dismounted, didn't go catastrophic. We called it up. We then are told to fall back. We then come back to the same spot, and that spot was already receiving mortar rounds when we left, and we called that up too. And Command called us back to that spot saying, hey, we found a BMP for you to take out. It was the same exact BMP I already took out, and I told him that. And then we get mortared to death. And then QRF for the enemy comes in, and our driver drives us into a tank. And I'm like, no! I'm trying to save people's asses after the mortar strike. I got a little angry, but before debrief could come in, we hit the 3-hour mark, and I'm just like, I don't feel like kicking up a stink for that. Alright, looks like Blue 4 have spotted that Op 4 advance. I don't think they're going to engage from here, but they could, but we see them moving around, so this Blue 4 group might run into that Op 4 line. We might see that group fold out, but look at the battle line they made to try to spot where Op 4 is going. That's a pretty good call. And you got Blue 4 scanning around for that assassin target. That's funny as hell. But yeah, I mean, we have another op this Sunday. I'm going to go play in it. I'm going to give it my A game, but I'm going to be a little more defensive about myself. I try to trust people in op, but as soon as something happens for me to lose that trust, I tend to be a bit more defensive over the next few. But I'd imagine, I think Vix will be back in 2 weeks for the next one, for the main op, and by then I'll be more casual anyway, so.
Not much.
Arma's always better with a friend. I'd have Bloodwing do Plinko tonight with me for DayZ, but she has DND. But it was kind of funny to watch her break. She was so ready to be the Plinko girl, and then within 5 minutes, someone put 100 rounds of Plinko down, and she was struggling. I'm the math brain in our household, and she's the creative one. I think she's actually upstairs making food right now. I can hear her scurrying about. We do need another AT guy, Obsidian, so if you want to join that, feel free. Otherwise, we're about to have first contact here in this operation. Nemesis and Damien are leading. They're going to be tired, though, because they've been sprinting around. All right, I'm going to tab out and mute myself just so we don't hear anyone dead because my plugins are a bit busted. Nemesis hasn't noticed anything yet. We just heard someone switch to GLs. No, he switched off at GLs. All right. That is Nemesis, the first killed. We have some heavy fire going about and about. We might see Blue 4 fold reinforcements down. Now, the trick about this type of attrition is Blue 4 need to inflict a good chunk of casualties and then consider pulling back. Ilbenek, it's nothing to do with you. It's because other people made me update my TeamSpeak client, so now it's incompatible. If you know how to fix that, feel free. If not, I'll just change TeamSpeaks. Or TeamSpeak versions left and right. We see some smoke GLs getting put out. Plinko Queen was broken by Plinko, yeah, right? Yeah, all good, Ilbenek. Enjoy yourself. I'll deal with it. I'm a big boy. Alright, now we see Lolo got 2 kills. He's now trying to pull away. Depso was killed off in the back line for Blue 4. We have a lot of gunfire still going because the bulk of Op 4's infantry are starting to make it up, and they're definitely popping a lot of GLs into this territory. Blue 4 trying to get some more kills in, but at this point, I think they've only gotten 3 kills total. They need to consider just smoking and pulling away at this point because now Op 4's bulk of the infantry is here. Blue 4 need to now move and set up another defensive line. We see this group moving into a formation and potentially coming around, but they need to stick to the tree line because the route they're going, they're not going to be able to really get behind this main Op 4 element. So looking at the roster, we've got 4 KIA, Cullis, Nemesis, Grass, and Damien. They were all closer to the front. They're all trying to maneuver. Blue 4, if they end up evenly trading, it's going to be for naught. They've got a pretty good angle here, but they're sticking it. And we do see Blue 4 trying to send more forces around over here. We got some far overwatching elements trying to shoot at these open elements here. We do have some forces returning fire, but Overwatch at that range with no scopes isn't really going to be that helpful. I don't know. I'm gonna turn my mic up a little. Okay, that's a little too much. There we go. Wow. Alright, let's try it. That's way too high. Man, I turned it up slightly and now it's peaking. One little notch. Alright, I think that's a bit fine, but Blue 4 is overwatching position, now under heavy fire as, again, the main Op 4 element here is just engaging with them. We got more forces trying to come around, but nothing beyond that. We lost Sayek and Lolo on Blue 4, and they ended up getting baits in retaliation, but now we're seeing Blue 4 starting to pull that force back just a little bit, but Op 4 is starting to really gain into where Blue 4's line was, so that's a little tough on what we got. I'm gonna adjust my mic a little bit more here. I don't know why, but every time I do a stream, I feel like the mic settings change slightly, and I notice it too because when I'm editing footage, it's definitely not the same microphone output every single time, and I only adjust it when I absolutely have to, but I was barely hearing myself over all the gunfire, and I like to be able to hear it over, but we have another KIA over here. That would be Tom's, and Snodgerper's died over here, so the Overwatch element is getting a few kills over here. Obsidian, that's correct. It's only a Milsim, not a Star Sim or a Halo Sim. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do it. But otherwise, Op 4 now gaining ground. We have Cheeseburger staying back. He's trying to get a few more kills here. I don't think he was able to get that kill. I don't see a new skull on the board. But so far, we have 2, 4, 6, 7 casualties on Op 4. 3 on Blue 4, so it's a pretty good trade for Blue 4 so far. Op 4 is getting stalled in the open right here. Blue 4 bringing all of these forces around. We have another MG team. I have no idea why they're running in the open down here. That is a really dumb call. If Op 4, we got smokes placed out, they're really relying on Op 4 continuing to move onto the forest. It's way too risky in my opinion. They should have kept the medium machine guns in the tree line right here, waited for Alpha to come around, and then continue to try to move in and flank this force. So we have a Blue 4 member here getting killed off by a grenade. I believe that was Cheeseburger. Nope, that was Kremet. So we have 2 more KIA right here. That was Misano and Kremet. Most of Bravo 1 has been taken out. It's only down to a handful of people. We do have Kabubi. Op 4 ground command has been knocked unconscious. But otherwise, no new kills for Op 4. Bates got lagged out. He was one of the skulls on Op 4. Demondre, you'd be right. It's just you rarely see good explosive traps utilized, and the only guarantees they're going to get is if they put them on the terminals themselves, but I'm going to be honest, I'd find this really funny, because the assassin target could literally solo these objectives right now. I don't think he's allowed to, but because Blue 4 put all of their force onto where Op 4 is, eventually he's going to have to, because he's the only guy alive still. I'd be really curious to see what happens if he touches one of those and how many forces then immediately try to pull back. But it looks like all except for Timek have been wiped over here. Timek is all the way in the back. So Blue 4 just weren't able to push their forces back enough, and they ended up now it's more of an even trade with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skulls on Blue 4. Op 4 have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they had a 7th that lagged out. So Blue 4's inability to pull back that initial squad to really stack that attrition damage was a bit tough. And now you have a lot of Blue 4 trying to come in and follow the Op 4 group, but now that Op 4 is in Blue 4's neck of the woods, I think they're going to be pulling security properly, but you have this really nice encirclement starting. But I don't know. Will Op 4 be able to break out of that encirclement and go right through? Because if they break out of the encirclement, there's nothing really stopping them from hitting the objectives. So I think it's going to be a pretty direct line here, and you do have a pretty nasty gap forming, as a good chunk of Blue 4's elements are on the tail of Op 4. Beyond that, I don't know. It's going to be a tough call. Op 4 also are going to be mainly uphill. If Blue 4 continue to pursue, they're going to be downhill unless they try to engage ridge to ridge, but that's going to really minimize their ability to actually land kills. Op 4 otherwise could run into Bravo too, but they're repositioning wide. It looks like some Op 4 are pushing northeast into the low ground. We see some shots going hilltop to hilltop here. I can't really see who he's engaging, though. He's clearly engaging something over here, but there's nothing... I don't even see bodies moving around, so it might just be some blind suppression. Maybe they see some movement through the woods. Oh, they definitely spot Kabubi, who is ground command. He did wake back up after getting a kill and getting knocked out. I'm curious to see if he'll leave the zone and try to flank, but then his position will be broadcasted to everybody, but even so... I think at this point now it's going to be a fight for the marks, and we just saw Latchman get a headshot on one of those two Blue 4 members. He's going to put a few shots to double tap. That was a beautiful shot, though, by the marksman. And as I just called, that marksman are going to be the game changers here. We see that beautiful headshot in play. That was one of the spotters for the medium machine guns. I think an ammo bearer as well. We see some more shots landing on him and some blood on him, so they're definitely putting more shots on him. But now we've got Op 4 folding back down the hill, and we got Blue 4 pursuing. With the sheer amount of Blue 4 on this flank, we could see Op 4 now defeated in detail, because they got a good chunk over here on the left. I don't think Ground Command has proper control of his units at the moment. He's driving one squad forward, and the other two are now going to get pinned between the bulk of the Blue 4 QRF. But this envelopment here, especially with this push from the south, as the eastern angle pushes forward, this L-shaped attack is really going to blunt Op 4's Charlie. And then from there, they could continue to push on, hit that element, and then envelop that group, and then you just have that one left. They're going to get stopped by Blue 4 Bravo 2, and we could very well see the fight just conclude in this region. Op 4 have some really good envelopment tactics at the moment. However, Blue 4 doesn't seem to be able to tie the knot here. Malin gets a beautiful GL hit on the, looked like one of the leadership. Yeah, it was Delta 2's group lead getting taken out by that. Op 4 quickly trying to pull back, but you see that they're getting knocked out. You got some CQB occurring over here. You got some really nasty CQC starting up right here. That's one knockout. Lolo runs right into a grenade, though. And you got Blue 4 folding forces in. But now we have a breakout right here. Blue 4's Bravo 2 pulled back too far, and now we're going to have an Op 4 group bypass everything and start actually pushing to the terminals. And funny enough, we have an assassin. He's actually broken out, and he is trying to come back to assist. His position is going to be broadcasted by everyone, and you do have Arthur here turning around looking for that one target. He's not waiting him out, though. He's going to walk right to him, and that might get him killed. Because I'd imagine this guy is going to be listening for footsteps and whatnot. Nope. Someone else manages to shoot him, causing him to run out, and Artur's right there to take him out. So the assassin target is dead. I honestly think that was a mistake. He could have just waited for this group to come in and then reinforce them. But whatever, c'est la vie. We got this Blue 4 group coming down, might try to hold Terminal 1. But look at that, Op 4 element right there now trying to pull back to follow the other group as Blue 4 are hot in their heels. We got some Op 4 intermingled with some Blue 4 elements up here. And then we have an auto rifleman for Op 4 with that PKM. He's doing a bit of medical, hasn't gotten any kills yet, but he is intermingled with some Blue 4 on their Overwatch line. Now at this point, tactically, this Op4 group could stall at the top of the hill and allow for this major force to start hitting the terminals. And then these guys, it looks like they're trying to regroup down with this major force, but this could still go either way. Otherwise, Blue 4 are now hot on Op4's heels, pursuing up this ridge. And I just love how this has become the main fight, well outside of the actual AO here. So Blue 4's done a great job of maneuvering his forces in. Op4 were also doing a decent job maneuvering, but they got stuck maneuvering up a ridge, and that slowed them down. So now we've got the rest of Op4 now moving towards the terminals. No, they're going to try to sweep the Blue 4 Overwatch element, regroup with the few guys still remaining. That machine gunner gets killed by Banks. This group's then going to try to sandwich them, but that could give time for Blue 4's surviving element here to sandwich them. But at the same time, numbers are looking pretty even on this side, so it's impossible to tell who's going to win that fight. But I think Op4 is more in line to win that fight. Blue 4 don't really have a lot for Overwatch on objectives left over. But this is definitely going to be a longer round because we're just extending it based off of Op4 and Blue 4's fighting outside of the zone. Numbers-wise, Blue 4, I think, have a slight superiority here. This appears to be 7 versus 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, but Op4 are uphill, and Blue 4 is pushing them directly from the low ground. So a few well-placed grenades by Op4 could clean things up, but these Op4 elements are quickly trying to pull away. However, they are dragging a good chunk of Blue 4's infantry back, and that's going to allow for his other element to envelop and eliminate the resistance up there. So a lot of room for some pretty heavy PvP. We just have to wait and see who comes out the victor. Got some smokes being thrown by Op4. Cats with a handgun picks up a GPMG, and he's got Blue 4 right next to him. So Cats could get in a really good position to take out a good chunk of Blue 4 before he's cut down. And then you got Op4 sleep weeping this small little group right here. Fawn's trying to come in. See that Blue 4 guy immediately turn around. Cat's now pushing. I think he only had 3 or 4 shots in that magazine and ran out. He didn't reload it. He tried to push. He had that dude dead to rights, but he only had like 4 bullets come out, and that was it. That is very unlucky for Cats. Fonz could do a pretty decent attack from the rear. He does have Charlotte looking in his direction, though. Hasn't spotted him yet. I think just spotted him now. Charlotte with the marksman rifle. Fawn's completely unaware. Fawn's immediately going aggressive. Great grenade throw. It's going to roll too far down, though. Charlotte trying to time that grenade. Gets a good timing on it, but unfortunately, Fonz is doing a really good job of maneuvering. And Blue 4 keeping this number advantage pretty tight here. And Op4 are just going to stand on the little hill right here. So you got Major Khan here trying to eliminate France, but MLG manages to take him out. Hey, Razor, how you doing? Shots on the flank. That knocks out another Op4 member. Blue 4 trying to run for it, but Renly doesn't see him. They're trying to suppress him. Well-thrown grenade. It rolls a little too far down, though. And now Blue 4 is pushing the rest of that position. And we only have Iander left. No kills. SKS. Ooh. Op4, meanwhile, we got some Blue 4. Those 3 guys that were on the fortification have folded in. Bravo 2 still none the wiser. I think Op4 is just going to get cleaned up now. We could see them still clean up these guys and start hitting the terminals, but Blue 4 has such a critical mass right here that I think Blue 4 has it at this point. Found it a bit weird that Op4 as attackers had less players and the defenders and the admins didn't notice or act on it. Oh, I didn't notice. I try to trust the admins to catch stuff like that. Because, again, I'm just a commentator here. I don't run FNF or anything. I'm just along for the ride. But, yeah, the attackers were supposed to have a 5% numbers advantage. And, yeah, if it went the other way, that's kind of weird. Regardless, we got some Op 4 now making a break for the terminal sites. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to see these guys start interacting with the terminals because there's no resistance. All of Blue 4 is then going to pull to the terminal sites, and everyone's just going to trickle into the actual AO. Beyond that, I mean, time-wise, it's only been a little over 20 minutes, so we haven't even hit the halfway point. This will probably wrap up in... Oh, it's tough to call. I'd say 15 to 20 minutes tops. That gives enough time for the person in the caboose slot, Iander, to trickle in. At least to Terminal 1, it's about 800 meters away from his spot, but... Yeah. I'm a little past, though, but regardless... We do have Bluck coming up to some Op 4 members right here. He is a marksman, so I think he's trying to get on hills. Little does he realize he's about to get into a CQC situation. With a marksman and a medic that stole a Bren gun. A Bren is better than an SKS in this case, though. Bluck, I think, hears him. Yep. Does he open up with a grenade? Nope, he turns that M14 to full auto and then throws a grenade. And that grenade, I think, is going to get caught in the bush. Does do a bit of damage to the medic. He responds with a smoke grenade. And did Bluck just run around the flank? Yep, he runs around and runs into Twin. More gunfire is heard, and now we got more Blue 4 trickling over. One Op 4 member that was right here just got taken out. And we got all of Blue 4 now coming around to take that spot. Could have Kabubi Face go ahead, but he has no control over his remaining units, probably because they don't even have an LR radio at this point. Bluck wakes up. Throws some grenades in. There's smokes, but Blue 4 are now turned to engage other forces along the line. He could run up. He does spot that marksman. Puts a few shots into him. Wild blue smoke grenade thrown. If it was a frag, I don't think I would have gotten him. And the Bluck gets him on the mag dump. Op 4 now turning north, trying to spot where Bluck is because they hear that Mark 14. Obsidian, it would be a medium anti-tank slot, but I'll train you in it. It's fine. It's easy. Alright. So we have Ivno main coming in to reinforce. Kabubi's turnaround might have spotted Ivno, but one of the two elements over here, Charlotte, picked off, so it's just Iander in the back line. We got Op 4 slowly trickling in as Bluck is still potentially doing a bit of medical. Bluck does have a bit of grass to cover him, though. And it's at the perfect angle. These two might actually hear him moving around. That's how close they are to each other. Yeah, Bluck just heard him. He's going to back away. Machine gunner might spot him through the bush. He does not. Bluck might have spotted his head, though, because he does have a scope. Bluck instead folds back a little bit. He's going to quickly put either an epi or morphine in him. But we have some Blue 4 in the back line engaging. That was Artur spotting and killing one of those Op 4 members. Op 4 down to 5 players. Bluck now pushing, trying to get some mag dumps in. Gets the knockout, but unfortunately trades with his life. Yeah, Op 4 now fighting battles multitudes to 1. Got Ivno main out here. No, it's Kabubi Face, my bad. He's pinned. Suppressed from 2 different angles. If he tries to move from this cover, he will be cut down. And he's got more Blue 4 trying to go on different angles to spot him. He's taken out. Op 4's remaining 2 on the ridge here, and then they got Iander in the back. We're down to 1. In a 1v1. Gets caught in a reload. I have no idea what that Op 4 player was thinking, but Ivno main comes up, finishes the reload, takes him out, and now it's just Iander. He is at least 400 meters away from any Blue 4 player. Blue 4 is just going to now play defense on the terminal sites, and it's GG. It is honest to God GG. One man in a dream. Hold on.
What happened?
Just
telling him.
Oh my god, he's just pulled a grenade
Oh
on that
no!
one.
Oh no!
Holy shit!
What's going on?
He
just committed
And I thought now just told him not to do that.
Hold on.
All right. So Iander, just to save everyone time, has decided to blow himself up. With the admin, mind you. Oh my god. Jensalvi, I don't know, buddy. But anyway, F and F. And my first highlight of the night. Alright, 5/17/24, and that was at 44:30. Alright. I am now going to set up the next thingamajig for everybody, and yeah, we'll be back after these totally not paid for, well, they totally were paid, messages. As an Arma 3 content creator, one of the most common questions I get from fans is where can I find a good Arma 3 unit to play in? One of my biggest recommendations is milsimunits.com. You can click on the Arma button on the main browser, and it'll take you to a page where you can see various different Arma unit listings. Each listing has a nice picture representing the unit, a brief synopsis, and the information you need to join the unit. Unit leaders can also sign up on the website for free by simply joining the website's Discord. You haven't missed much. They're still black screened. Normally I use that 30 seconds to change the commands, but I can only change the commands if I know what the next mission is, and unfortunately, we haven't gotten there yet. So how's everyone's Friday, since we have a second? Because the plan usually is to have that be like our downs. There we go. And we're playing Scotland. Lovely. Alright, let me get the commands written up. Alright, this is round 2. We need the prediction paid out, mind you. That was an easy win for Blue for defending, and they won at a 2-1. Interesting. Alright, anyway. This is round 2. What do we got? Opt for attacking. It's attacking a terminal and sector under Blue 4's control. Op4 has, let's see, an 8% numbers advantage, 2 BMP3s, a Quillen, a CH-146 Griffin, if I can spell Griffin right, 2 UAZ DSHKs and transports. Wow. Blue 4 has 2 M2 Mutt Jeeps, an HMG truck, and 2 LAV-25s. I think the Quillen is just a transport Quillen. And the map is Mole of Kintyre. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, Stream is wearing an eye patch. He decided to become a pirate. Now all he needs is the hook leg, the peg leg, no, the hooked hand, the pegged leg, and scurvy. So I have already broken into Dream's apartment and stolen all of his oranges. Trying to help my friend play the part. Dealing with the pain and inventory scanning of barcodes. Ooh. I'm sorry to hear that, Razor. But I'm excited for tonight. Again, we have Plinko. I'll have to adjust the camera slightly so it's a bit lower and fix the lighting because I don't have the lighting on because we don't have the Plinko board right now. But we'll see how things go. I will put the new prediction up when we get into the map screen, and I'll set it for 20 minutes for funsies. But otherwise, we'll be covering rounds 2 and 3. DayZ will be around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. We'll be going for 2 to 3 hours. And, of course, everything that's funded in DayZ will add to our prediction. Not prediction, gosh, our deal for funding new operations with other communities. So, has the donos list for donations been updated? I do want to change the Plinko board. I'm going to make all the changes between FNF and the actual DayZ stream. Razor, if you have any new ideas, let me know. I will also potentially add them because he is going to be our torture admin tonight. Why does that roll off the tons so well? I should be terrified. But regardless, we're still around 75 players. And you know what? I'm still vibing with Walk in the Woods here, which is the name of this song. It's from the original Halo Combat Evolved game, and I'm liking it. So we'll keep it going. But otherwise, I'm still looking for a decent time to get on with Ghost Wolf because he's changed his server up a little bit, but he's very busy these days, so it's hard for our schedules to be compatible. But we'll see how things go. Ian, yeah, I can add that. Larry, I don't think anyone needs to be bonked right now. I mean, in terms of all of the little fun paid-for-paying expenditures, I mean, we'll keep DayZ going indefinitely because that's fun. I really need to start publishing the videos on the main channel, though, because they're massively behind on that front. And then the pay-for-campaign for POG, we'll have 2 more missions, so 2 more Thursdays for that. Then we'll have a finalization day. Then we'll do a day where they steal the war games, which I might just combine with the finalization day. Then we'll run a day with the war games. Then we're going to run 5 ops just to close out their campaign without any pay-for-campaign elements. Then we're going to do probably a month's worth of, you know, just relax ops, and then I'm going to completely reset the campaign. What we'll probably do is 4 or 5 ops without any pay-for-campaign elements, and then I'm going to completely revolutionize the pay-for-campaign board. And I'm also going to reach out to Czar and a few others. There's another person, especially from last night, I want to reach out to, and I want to get some thoughts down on, you know, what they would like to see too. But I've thought of some really cool ways to really tier the experience. The trick is going to be, how do I balance it between what the players and what the Op4 gets. But I think there's some really cool things I can do to make that work. But if that's the case, I'm going to make the campaign a lot easier, and I'm just going to set solid numbers for the players. So, like, any rifle costs this amount of points. Any rifle with 203 or 320 costs this amount of points. I'm just going to really make it simple. And streamline it, post the rules so everyone knows, and everyone will report either to Patch or MacMarine, depending on who runs it on the Blue 4 side, and we'll go from there. But I'll also allow for other variables to be changed and whatnot, so, you know, we'll get there when we get there. And then that's just one aspect of so many other aspects I'm trying to get off the ground. But we have the new, a new Zeus rotation coming out for June. I'm going to take 4 Zeuses, give every Monday to a new Zeus, see what the community likes, and then July, giving them all the days for that. And then we have still running Stargate Ops, Korean War Ops, all that other fun stuff. And then, of course, everything for a bunch of other communities. And then I will say this, all right? This isn't confirmed yet, but there is a 24-hour operation in the works by yours truly. Not confirmed yet. I have to have a meeting, I think, on Monday, but the stepping blocks are in place. Did I just combine stepping stones and building blocks? Okay, the building blocks are getting put in place, and the details are being finalized on Monday. I'll let you know after Monday what the plan is for that, though it's probably not going to involve anyone from my community because it's going to be a commission job. Current way it's going to work is it's going to be a 24-hour op with multiple 4-hour mission files with some breaks in between to reset the server, and it's going to rotate communities in and out, and it's going to be about a platoon worth of infantry per op. But it's going to be literally a takeover of an entire map, or something on the equivalent. Modern day, but beyond, probably US-based for Blue 4. Op 4 hasn't been determined yet, but something like that. When I have more details, I'll let you guys know, but so far, it's probably going to be for sometime in June or July. Yes, Larry, I'm still going to be redoing the NSFW op. I just need to redo the entire final area. I started the process of it. As I figured, it's going to need at least like 4 or 5 hours to make that final spot. And then test it a little bit. It's just, there's other things in the way right now I gotta do first. Does the previous group's usage of equipment roll over? Like if the first group sucks, the rest will suffer? Demandrit, that still needs to be talked about. Like I said, I haven't done a 24-hour. I've done one once. And it wasn't streamed or recorded. It was a private event. And it was some really cool stuff. And that set a basis for me. But these take a while to plan. And the last one I was commissioned for, this one I'm commissioned for, but I think this one I'll be able to let you guys in on it because I think it's going to be streamed and recorded. But the previous one, I was not allowed to. And hey, when you're getting paid, you do whatever the hell the client tells you to. That's a simple way to look at everything. But let me go ahead and set up the prediction for you guys, because I said we'd be putting up for 20 minutes. Everick, buddy, how you doing? How are the shot heads? Blue 4 going to be defending. Op 4 attacking. Yeah, that looks to be the case. We'll set that for 20 minutes, and we'll let it cook. Also, because of what happened yesterday with Bloodwing wanting to be the Plinko girl and then completely getting mind broken, because I think it was Natty that put 100 gift subs down. Might have been someone else, but I have to take her out to dinner on the 22nd. I've planned this really nice romantic fondue dinner and a movie because she wants to go see Fall Guy. So Monday, 22nd, we'll do our Zeus op, and then I'm immediately out the door. Because she gets off at 5, I'll finish that op by 5, and it's going to be all evening, just her and I spending time together, because she struggled on Plinko last night, guys. When is a 24-hour DayZ stream? Let's try a 12-hour first, okay? And then we'll talk about it. Maybe. I would need an admin on to torture me for 12 hours, though. That's up to Racer. We could cycle in the admins. You get to pay to torture me for an hour. Okay, all right. Let's... Oh, boy. Let's focus on what we got here. Maybe, all right? I'll consider it, but there's so many other things I have to work on right now. So you got to give me time. And then we also have to get the heartbeat monitor for something like that. But yeah, let's... Ooh. Let's get started today. So, Op 4. Let me take a sip of water, hydrate. All right. So, Op 4 are going to be assaulting and trying to take a sector and a terminal. The terminal appears to be at a little lighthouse cottage back here. That's quite nice. And then the sector looks to be up where Blue 4 spawn is, over at a militarized radar position. Fascinating. All right, Op 4 otherwise looks like they are going to be some sort of amphibious unit, but let's go ahead and look at our tasks here and confirm it. Blue 4 defending, Op 4 attacking. Otherwise, mission for this render distance is 2.5 kilometers of view. We've got 160 fortified points. Standard number is 125, so a little bit more for Blue 4 to defend there. They have a pre-made fob, so that might be used at the terminal site. Fortified colors green. Time limit, that's the standard 50 minutes for the Friday Night Fights match. Background. Oh, boy. Let me take another sip. Okay. Here we go. In an alternate history where global political dynamics have shifted dramatically, the Russian Federation, emboldened by its territorial expansions and strategic ambitions, sets its sight on the resource-rich Scottish Highlands. Driven by their desire to control the North Sea oil reserve and assert its dominance over key maritime routes, Russia launches a meticulously planned invasion, leveraging advanced military technology and newly formed alliances with the disaffected European nations. Russian forces make a bold move to establish a stronghold in Scotland, aiming to cripple the energy supply lines of Western Europe and fortify the geopolitical influence. In a surprising turn of events, the defense of the Scottish Highlands is entrusted to the Australian military. Well, yeah, I mean, if they held an island, they should be able to defend another island, right? Reflecting the enduring bond with the Commonwealth. Australia's unwavering commitment to global stability and support for the United Kingdom prompts the deployment of elite troops to the Highlands. The Australian force, renowned for its expertise in unconventional warfare, survival tactics, and the Emu divisions, honed in the harsh Australian outback, transformed the rugged Scottish terrain into a formidable defensive stronghold. Employing strategic ambushes, leveraging deep local knowledge, emu attacks, and exhibiting indomitable resolve, the Australians mount a resilient defense, epitomizing the fierce global contest for power, resources, and sovereignty in this reimagined geopolitical landscape. I want to see PvP with emus. It would be a slaughter. Anyway, Blue 4, our Australian Army elements. We see some AUG-3s with some 203 systems underneath. See some Mark 11 marksman rifles. Mini-Me. That's either a Mini-Me or an M249. They're literally the same thing, just named one or the other. We got an AT-4, and then we have a GPMG for the medium machine gunners. They have an M2 Humvee, two LAV-25s. I misnamed that. I thought it would be a truck. It's not. It's just a regular.
The emus doom music starts playing.
Yeah, Frisk, thanks for the 32-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Brett should try refreshing your page. If not, it might be blocked by your country because, yeah. Unfortunate. Otherwise, the two LAV-25s, some transport Humvee, actually a transport Humvee, and then two Mutt Jeeps. The Mutt Jeeps appear to have 800 rounds of M2. The LAVs have 1,200 rounds of 7.62x51, and then the main gun has 70 rounds of AP. And then the HMG, we have 800 rounds of 12.7. Otherwise, Op 4 is going to be our Russian VDV kits. I figured that. AK-74s with GP-25s, SVDs for the marksmen, RPKs with 45-round banana mags for the light machine gunners, RPG-7s for the light anti-tank with 2 rounds, PKPs for the medium machine gunners, RPG-32 for the MAT team, and PP-2000s for the crew. Otherwise, we've got two UAZ Dishkas with 250 rounds of 12.7. The Griffin, which is just a crew capacity of 12. It has flares, but it's unarmed. Otherwise, it does have a camera, though, so if we see a co-pilot, they could use that for reconnaissance. Aquila LSV for some transport, can carry 7 people. 2 BMP-3s, the late model. They have 195 AP rounds. God, so one of them has more ammo than both of the LAVs, but the LAVs have an armor advantage because the BMP-3, it's easy to pen. 1,000 rounds of their PKT, which is 7.62x54, smoke generator, and some designator batteries. That's cute. But it also has those 2 front PKTs, which have 250 round boxes, 1,000 rounds total. And then we have 6 transport gas D-gears, which can carry 9 people apiece. Looks like that is it. We have Blue 4 spawn up here at the radar site with the terminal. Actually, no, that's the sector. Terminal is over on the hillside back there. Turn my render distance up. We have Op 4 spawn. Objective 1, the terminal, which is at the lighthouse side. And then you got the sector, which is up here. We got a little IDAP tent, too. That's cute. Otherwise, looking over at the player counts here, we've got Fonz on Blue 4 Ground Command, Ash leading Alpha with Smith and Pupper. Under him, Pupper playing the medic, Smith playing the marksman. Rolam leading Alpha 1 with Hans von Zator, Wolf on Isles, Alfie, Killer Cake, and Phantom. Alpha 2 has Omri, Tomer, Tom, and Seesme, and Svet. Otherwise, Damien leading Bravo with Avarlion, Rambo Bambo, Rocky 19, MLG 10, Grass, Maxic, Dewadox, and Skipu. Bates leading Delta with Norris as the medic, France as one of the medium machine gunners because he has that GPMG. Nolek leading Echo with Tendian as the AT gunner, Renly being an assistant, so that team has 4 AT rounds total. Pierce, Snodgepair, and Tom's taking one of the LAVs, Crazy and Mike taking the other LAV, and Oddball is the odd man out with Delta 1 with a medium machine gun. And one of the 2 M2 Mutt Jeeps. Interesting. Defso leading Op4, with NASA leading Alpha, with Ivnovane as his 2IC, Bluck with the Marksman Rifle, Kremet as the medic, and then Twin, Gensalvi, and Curie as other forces within Alpha. Alpha 1, meanwhile, has Masano, Cuboid, Cheeseburger, Wombat, Artur, and Lolo. Bravo has Ash leading with Major Khan as the Marksman, Eric as the medic, Murphy leading Bravo 1 with Tackleberry, Banks, Wheaton, Harana, and Medin. No Bravo 2 from the looks of things. It just skips down to Delta. Delta has Dobbs leading Wise with SL, Dream, Nemesis, Mount, and Flying Finn, taking those medium machine gun rows for the PKPs, and then Kabubi is a 2IC. Yanni leading the Echo team, Iander, AT God, taking that RPG-25. He's got Cullis and Cats with him, so I have 6 AT rounds total. Iander's always the guy to watch when he has, especially an RPG-32. That's his favorite weapon platform. Let's see if he can make some record-breaking AT shots. Again, with an RPG-32, his record is either 1,265 or 1,283 meters. So I'll have to be watching that and see if he makes any record-breaking shots. Regardless, BMP1 has Alexander, Sam, and Lolo. Charlotte and Mac Marine taking the second BMP crew under Golf 2, and then Hotel is Timac and Sayak. They're going to take the vehicle crew, which means they can use that camera tied to the aircraft and do some good recon. They also have a spotlight if they want to try and blind Blue 4 with it. Regardless, this is literally going to be a hillside ridge defense, very barren landscape that, I'm going to be honest, is kind of reminiscent of the Outback here. So these roaming hills, not a lot of cover to work with. Definitely going to be a vehicle player's game. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out. We got 7 minutes remaining for our downtime. Op4, because of how steep everything is, probably going to have to force themselves up the MSR, but we'll have to see how things play out. Mostly open fields. I know what you're thinking, Rakaneko. Where is Pierce? If I remember correctly, he's in a vehicle crew under Golf 1, so his LAV is going to be charging those open fields. He's going to be a happy camper. So we'll see how things go. Helicopter is not in the air. They're normally not allowed to take off till the round starts. I just realized they get P90s under the crew, but again, very open map. That's only going to be useful at a few hundred meters at most. Am I on Reddit? No. I do lurk in a few areas, but nah. Not my cup of tea. And there's the hydrate. Well, with that, we got 6 minutes left of downtime. I'd imagine Op4, there's just going up this ridge, there's so many ways they could do it, but with 2.5 clicks of render distance, I mean, I only have, I think, half of that in this interface. So we'll probably see some very long-range engagement. Vehicle placements are going to be key, but if Op4 can get their foot in the door, I think they'll be fine. It's just getting their foot in the door will be the difficult part. We could see the helicopter deploy a squad somewhere on a flanking spot, but it's that maneuvering that's going to be really tough for Op4 to do in this rugged hellscape. So we'll just have to see how things go. I'll be honest, the BMP3s having that extra ammo, I mean, 195 rounds versus 70 per vehicle, that is quite a bit of a difference. So the BMPs could definitely waste some of their ammo trying to get direct hits with those AP rounds on infantry. And with their technology zoom-in capability, they could very well get some pretty accurate hits there. So we'll see how things go. It is stacked, I would say, a bit in Op4's favor, but Blue 4 definitely have that defense advantage. So we'll see how things go. Can I show what the 1,500 view would look like? All right, so let's put it this way. How I show the range of my view is I literally go up to... There is where the fog layer starts. So from here, if I were to highlight over the center unit, this is about 1,500 meters. And then to where they really cut out on the fog, so it gets super foggy, that is about 2,300 meters. So I do have a render range right now of 1,500, but my maximum range is another kilometer before the fog starts to overtake everything. If we were to look in the briefing tab, that is the maximum range of 2,500 meters. You want to see the objectives? All right, I will show them again. The first one is a sector control of this area right here. You've got some pretty close neighboring ridges here, but everything around it is pretty open. And then we have a sheer cliff down below, but otherwise pretty simple compound. It's got some overwatching towers with the they're technically called posts in the game. Looks like they've dug a line of HESCO barriers to help hold it. However, any vehicle can knock over these walls, but they've dug some additional fortifications and created some HESCOs over here. They also opened up one of the walls for easy movement in. But the sector is pretty much this entire perimeter of the compound, including this open area. The terminal site is down here. Looks like it's not even going to be covered. Blue 4 is going to hold everything on that ridge, and that's a decent call because it's on the low ground. Anything up on the ridge could easily look down upon it. Not a really good position to hold with your platoon, and definitely not a good one to hold with vehicles. So I think Blue 4 is just going to go all eggs in one basket on that 1AO and just branch things around and cover the adorning ridges. So we'll just have to see how things go from there. Czar, it's exclamation point tip, buddy. Also, you and I think Natty, I want to have a conversation with regarding some ideas for a future campaign, but I might hit you up in a month or two when it's closer, because it's still well a ways away. No problem, buddy. Anything you drop on the campaign will be reflected for next Thursday. And then, if you also want to wait, we do have DayZ tonight. I don't have that command up just yet, but we'll get there when we get there. Did my music just cut out? Yes, it did. There we go. I'm just trying to listen to Walk in the Woods, man. Have some nice casual song placement for everything. Is there anything else anyone wants to see before the mission? Otherwise, I think we've covered everything in great detail. Again, casual dropping of I'd love to see a command down for commanders to say that they're ready on both sides so we could start the rounds a bit early, because sometimes I feel like 15 minutes of safe start prep time is a bit excessive, but that would be up to everything. Another thing to note is we do have a little bit of, actually not a little, a lot of rock placement on some parts of these ridges, but it's only enough for like 1 or 2 people to hide behind at any given time. Can you see Blue 4 loadouts? Of course, Blue 4 are going to be kitted with AUG-3s, so 5.56 based weaponry. Some have 203s, that's if they are 2IC rules, but I didn't see a lot of those in play. Mark 11s for the marksman rifle, which are 20 round 7.62 by 51 NATO. Battle rifles, actually no, battle rifle would be like an M14. This one's more of a marksman rifle dedicated, and they've got usually a 203 scope on top or something. We've got Mini-Me's, which are 200-round M249 copies. It's the European version of it, but chambered in 5.56, they're light machine guns. AT4 single-shot disposable AT rifles, and then we've got GPMGs, which are 100-round medium machine gun chambered in 7.62 by 51. Medium anti-tank rifle is going to be the Carl Gustav, aka the Moz, and then we have P90s for the vehicle and air crew, but they don't have air crew on Blue 4, it's only on Op 4. So seeing that in practice, we've got the AUG-3s here. They've got red dots on some of them. Here is a Mark 11 with an M230A scope. The difference between the 230 and 230 is 230 is, God, that was worse. The difference between the 230 and the 230A is there's the same exact scope. It's just the 230A is ranged properly for 7.62 by 51, whereas the standard 230 is 5.56.
I think I can.
I think I saw it.
And these are technically bull pops because they got the magazine in the back. I think they're trying to find the window to shut here, but otherwise round has officially started. We got Blue 4 convoying down with those LAVs, and it looks like a vehicle that is Echo, which is their medium anti-tank team. They're probably going to try to find where Op 4 is coming in from early. Meanwhile, Op 4, we are going to see a squad deployed from the helicopter, and it looks like they're going in 2 separate directions with the Quillen going on its own. Probably do some early scouting Overwatch, because the Quillen is definitely one of those all-terrain transport type vehicles that can easily drive up these hills. Both sides do have Hunt IRs. Yes, that is a staple with an FNF. Though I will admit, we didn't really see many in the previous round. I can't recall any, but there was probably some used. We were just too low to the ground to see anything. You got to remember, both sides do have AP rounds, so putting sandbags down for the defense, especially in towers, is a good call, because AP 20mm rounds will definitely pen the thin metal here, but if you put sandbags down, they can't pen sandbags. Sandbags are superior in this game. They can stop tank rounds. Otherwise, Blue 4 is going to just be setting up a little Overwatch position, trying to find where Op 4 is going. We have a massive AO to play with here, so we'll have to see how things go. I like the Warcraft references, Kismaki. It reminds me of what I used to do before all of this shenanigans. Even if most of it was inappropriate, but still. It's fun to remember your roots. So right off the bat, I'm a little worried with Op4's plan, but at the same time, I think they're just going to try to find a way to get into the AO, because with how open this area is, as long as they can get in on the final objective, they should be fine. Billy, I will admit I do miss, if there was one thing to miss from Warcraft 3 right now, it probably was canned bread. And that's going to make absolutely no sense to like 95% of you, but that's fine. TLDR, there was a mini game you could play called Canned Bread. It was a parody off of SpongeBob characters, and you were basically a version of Squidward with other version of Squidwards playing mini games. And whoever won the mini games would get to escape, and everyone else was mercilessly humped by a piece of canned bread. That turned into Mr. Krabs. If you want to know what I'm talking about, just go to Liru's VODs, type canned bread, and you will find it very, very quickly. Might even be on the main channel. I don't remember. It's been years. Oh my god. Alright, Op 4, we got two guys that's driving up the southern side. That is going to be, it looks like Alpha and Delta. The Quillen is the Echo Medium Anti-Tank team, smart choice, and then the vehicles are Golf, both 1 and 2, and they have a Gaz with them that has SL Dream, so Delta's going with those Vics. So I would assume Alpha is these two Vics, and then we have Bravo in the helicopter. So Op4's really separated themselves out. They're really trying to find an angle to possibly bypass the LAVs and get on top of the sector. I don't think we can make an Arma op out of mini games, and if we do it like Total Drama Arma style for key giveaways, but oh, I got so much other stuff I gotta do right now, guys. Dwarves, I'm probably gonna have to cover round 3 of FNF2. I appreciate your invites as always, but unfortunately, I have schedule conflicts. We already did a mini-game op, again, with the Total Drama Arma stuff, and I have nothing to give away for the mini-games. Plus, I'm going to be honest, it takes a while to set all those up. Attack. Yeah, I remember that game mode, too. That was pretty funny. Alright, so right off the bat, we have an Op 4 guy jumping out of the helicopter. It's Ash, and he's unconscious. Excellent. So Op 4 trying to land so they don't break the main rotor. Wah, wah, wah.
Send in Goat Team 6 now.
4.5 years, below my favorite schizo.
Well, they landed. The chopper didn't explode. Perceptive comment. Thanks for the 53-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope we get a nice kick out of this scenario. Oh, Forensic Buddy, that was just me on my alt account. Quickest caster curse ever. I mean, I saw it coming. That's not really a caster curse. If I see an impending car crash, yeah, I'm going to comment on it, but I'm just going to sit back, grab my glass of water, and just... If it's going to involve me, I accept my fate. If not, yeah, I just watch it happen. Why do I always caster curse the choppers? I don't do it intentionally, Larry. Besides, they should be able to fix it and then take off, and they should be able to get enough room to clear that, so...
We had this whole fucking countryside to land on. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, they did pick a really awkward angle. Going a little forward, they could have landed right there. Or they could have landed, like, right on top of the water line. It would have cost another, like, 1 to 2 minutes of maneuvering up the ridge, but no, they had choices, and they made them. I hear repair noises, but they might not be able to repair the main rotor, but I might eat my words in a second. That is funny, though. Alright, I am hearing something shoot. That might have been shots at Echo, because the BMPs definitely don't have an angle on anything. Let's check back on Mr. Chopper. Main rotor is still broken. But yeah, these guys have been promoted to infantry if they can't get that repaired. Might have seen Balloon 4 Echo, see Op 4 Echo as they're driving up in the open. Gaz is, we got one driving all the way back here. Don't know for what. I don't see that they left everyone behind, but most of their infantry are deployed, so they're going to be walking in. He's on top, I guess, trying to fix the main rotor up here. Jesus, bolt looks intact. Hearing more autocannon fire. That is BMPs firing at the LAVs. Rounds going over, they're trying to hit the Humvee, but you see some hits on the LAV. Gun potentially disabled. RPG firing in, it's a bit short. Iander, buddy. That was only an 830-meter shot. I know you can do better. I don't know. I think having a naked tank commander would boost morale. But maybe that's just me. Another AT shot. There it is. See, I told you you could do better. Smokes the engine out on that vehicle, stranding the Blue 4 Echo team as the LAVs leave that team to dry, and now they're running for it. There we go. Iander's not drunk enough? Yeah, you're probably right. He probably needs more alcohol. So it looks like they failed to get the rotors on properly. So like I said, they're probably just going to be promoted to infantry because they made their bed. Now they have to lay in it. Don't know what Curie's doing with that other guy. It's Bluck back there. Maybe the plan was to go back and get picked up by the helicopter, but clearly they're not going to do that. Or they're going to come and grab a Dishka UAZ. They might be grabbing that additional heavy machine gun for some firepower support for that infantry group that they were just with. No? They're grabbing another one. The only thing I can think of is they broke the other one that they had and they have to drive back to get a new one now. I have no idea where the wrecked... Oh, no, here it is. Yeah, no, they somehow wrecked it. Oof. Anyway, I forgot to mute myself because my plugins are borked because of other silly things, but... we can get into that later. Otherwise, Echo for Op 4 is mounting back up, and Blue 4 is pushing everything back to hold a final defensive area on the sectors themselves. This force definitely staying by the water. They're going to go hit Terminal 1. This force probably going to scout out and hit Terminal 2. So we'll just have to wait and see. Everick, I don't know. I'm willing to bet it's either simply they don't know that it exists, or they don't know how to assign it in the Eden editor. I remember there was an ACE update where you couldn't repair the main rotor anymore, because you used to be able to just throw on a main rotor there good as new, but I think with that ACE update, they aren't able to anymore. I'll hold my camera over just in case, you know, we can see it on the left side, but... Alright, we got Delta. They're going to take that hilltop and look for anyone to hit. Looks like they've got a Humvee coming up to pick up the other infantrymen right there. We'll just have to see how things go. This gives me some time to catch up with everything. You see them putting the flares out. Alright, well, otherwise, Blue Force Delta was just picked up, and we've got, Echo, because they were the medium anti-tank crew. These guys coming up, checking the engine, but they're not going to get any good shots here. The LAVs are going to be skylining, though, so if Echo moves up, they might be able to get more. Pilot and co-pilot are trying to repair it, but they broke the main rotor because they were too close to the ridge, and, yeah, fumbled that. Meanwhile, this Op 4 group, they are close to the first terminal objective. Blue 4 has opted not to hold that, though. From there, they're going to have a pretty nasty uphill battle, but, I mean, there's a good amount of ridge cover for Op 4 to take, especially some defilade cover, so they should be able to get up here, possibly with limited casualties, but you do see Blue 4 has a bit of an eye on that spot, so it's going to be up to MLG to sound the alarm if he sees movement around that position. If not, they'll all get a notification when the terminal gets hacked anyway, so... With that, we got Op 4 still climbing this area. The two Gazes, since they broke one, slowly coming up, but we'll see how much more they drive in on this objective. But again, F and F with rounds like these, usually the first like 15 to 20 minutes is spent maneuvering, but we do have an LAV firing. So it appears that LAV is firing at the vehicle crew down here. Excuse me, not vehicle, the medium anti-tank hunting team down here. They were putting some shots at these guys. So these guys know that there's an LAV in that direction to go hunt. Maybe they'll drive in the low ground and come around on the left. Other LAV, if it's smart, though, will start advancing and try to get on an overwatch position to try to deny Echo. But let's see where Echo goes. Going between some rocks. Looks like they're going to pull away a bit more defensively before going forward. That's not a bad call. Did the flares uncon the pilot? I didn't see that, but they're not on con right now, but it could have. I don't think flares do any damage, though, so. And I'm going to be honest, that's not the greatest fumble I've seen in FNF. I think the greatest vehicle-based fumble I've seen for helicopters was an Mi-24. Jesus. Okay, Czar. Wow. First off, I appreciate it, buddy. I will get that added. God, there's a lot of things that now influences. So, at the end of this stream, I will go and get that added to the document. That, I think, puts... I'm pretty sure that puts us over the next threshold at the $6,000 mark. So I have to then factor that in. So I'll take care of that this weekend. But I appreciate it, broski. Czar has been one of the guys that's been very prominent on the Pog Pay for campaign. So like I said, in a month, him and I think Natty and a few others, I'm going to probably get in a group Discord chat. And I'm going to pitch you all a bunch of ideas and see what you guys like and dislike. Because I never have done a pay for campaign before. We already did pay for paints. But I want to see what you guys appreciate the most so we can highlight what you guys like. But again, Czar, I appreciate everything you've done for that, man. I definitely want to help tailor those around you. It's just I also have to make sure the player base has a good time. But I've been getting some good feedback from them. We have a good balance for it right now. It's just I don't want to do one every single week because eventually you will run into player fatigue. So, whew. Lost so many wheels yesterday. It was... That's the drawback of having strikers, though, for the player base. And they're free. There's other vehicles they can take, but... Ooh. But Czar, my man, I appreciate it. It's definitely going to be a mortar fest for the next op, though. See, what scares me, though, is, Czar, are you going to be on for DayZ tonight? Should I be watching my back? Because we have the pay for campaign, then we have DayZ, where I let y'all torture me instead. Yeah, Pog Ops are free to join for anyone. Just type !Pog, and that should give you their Discord. Alternatively, because I slot for it too, you can just jump into my Discord and wait till Thursday where we get the op announcement out. But if you want to slot directly with them, that's also an opportunity. We like pain and suffering, doesn't matter who's pain. Yeah, I know. But again, we have the Plinko board. We're finally getting that back into the case, so. Ah, man. Alright, quick update. Op 4 infantry a few hundred meters within Terminal 1. We do have an LAV on the ridge. Not sure it's going to be in an Overwatch position of it. I wonder, though, if this gets hacked, will this LAV come over and try to plink at the units over here? Otherwise, Echo has been spotted by the other LAV on Gulf 1. And they are getting engaged, and they have lost their vehicle. The engine got disabled, so these guys stuck in a low ground could still do a bit of maneuvering to get on top of the ridges, but not a good position for them to be in. But if anything, this just is going to make them a bit more cautious, and we are at that edge of the 2,500 range. They could get some sight lines in there, but we do see them slowly going over the ridge too, but now they're in a tough spot. All right, the southern group was able to pick up those 2 gases. They're going to keep going, probably dismount on the southern side and move in. We'll eventually see this AO get sandwiched, but yeah, the LAV coming around could find an Overwatch position and engage the infantry coming in, so that could be a pretty nice mass cas event and allow for Blue 4 to only focus on 1 group of infantry coming up rather than 2. So we'll just have to see how it goes, but we cannot still discount the BMP3s coming from the north and that group of Delta also coming. That could potentially cut that LAV off. All right, we got Echo opening fire on the ridge as Op 4 are moving their forces up here. They'll have a nice ridge to deal with. LAV in the open, but from Cullis's spot, that LAV is 1,320 meters away. So if it stops, that could potentially give Iander a record-breaking shot. Again, I think his record was, it's either 1,236 or 1,285, something around there. So 1,300, definitely a record. Funny enough, the LAV is moving even further away, now at 1,400 meters, but gets behind the ridge. Gotta look out for bears. Yeah, Daisy Cocaine Bear was buffed. A lot of things were buffed. I just heard a goat. Is that enough for me to completely detract myself and look for it? Abso-freaking-lutely. I have no idea where it is, though, but I heard it. That's enough for me. Mulligan's Tire fun factor replaces all of the dynamic snakes and bunnies with sheep and goats. And it's much more fitting for this map. And they do make dynamic sound, which is awesome. All right, Delta's dismounted right here. BMP is coming up onto the ridge. Golf 2 is right next to the overwatching element. Trying to see if these guys notice the infantry moving down there. I honestly don't. Yeah, even looking right at it, I don't even see any movement down there, so, ooh, tough call. We are 20 minutes in on maneuvering. Some Op 4 has dismounted right on top of where Blue 4 has some infantry, but it's on a ridge. So that's a tough movement to make. We've got the LAV firing at the medium anti-tank team. They're trying to get a range. The range is a 1,390 meter distance. Now you got the LAV. It spotted the infantry. Terminal has been hacked. I think you're a chucklehead for climbing up there, sir. Because they just need to suppress the hell out of you, and you have no cover because they can pen. But now this team's going to be pinned down. They're going to have to rely on the BMPs coming up and suppressing. And the smoke has stopped on that Quillen. (1,390 meters). Alright, closer to 1,384. Can he do it? Shot is away. for the record. And it is short. Short by 100 meters. So the RPG 32, you can only range it up to 500 meters. So the fact that they are getting this close at a 1,390 meter shot is astounding. He's literally just blindly firing. All right, terminal's been taken. Now it's the final fight for this area. Op4 Southern Group, meanwhile, has started assaulting the ridge. They're getting on even ground here. Blue 4 trying to route. We do have some Blue 4 on the ridge. LAV is now moving. And we just heard the terminal site explode. Some grenades being thrown around. Oddball gets headshotted and rolls down the ridge a little bit. So tried to do an ambush, wasn't too successful. These are Delta's medium machine gunners for Blue 4 in the open. Looking at the roster, no KIAs for Op4 just yet, but Oddball and Norris have been taken out for Delta. So opening licks being inflicted on Blue 4, but Blue 4 does have a nice defensive line here. Will it be enough? LAVs are now in cover from Echo. What does Iander drink? Probably not a Guinness record. Damn, error. That is cold. I love it. Lucky no zombie emus. Yeah, right? You could reach out to Devour King and ask him how much it would take for him to convert it into a DayZ mod. He would probably look up a number for you, but... oh, man. Alright, we have a Mutt Jeep that has been smoked by a BMP-3. No additional casualties so far. Daz, I don't know, buddy, but I don't have any drop frames right now, so it is a Twitch side error, unfortunately. We have Delta with the other Mutt Jeep trying to provide some suppressive fire, but that is a World War II era vehicle. It's not going to have any stabilization for that 50 cal while driving, so unlikely to get anything. We got Banks unconscious over here. It looks like he slid off the ridge. He woke up, but no, he definitely... he definitely fell off. You can see where he misstepped, and then I think he just slid off the freaking ridge side. Yeah, you can see where his body impacted and knocked him out. Ah, the fact that he is still alive, though, is incredible. Delta have mounted out for Blue 4 their remaining survivors. Mike Desi's on foot, but he's actually in the vehicle as the three people pull away, and now you've got the final position firing down on Op4. As soon as they get their BMPs in position, though, they'll be able to fire on Sector 2 on two sides, and if this group can come up, 3, but they're having some maneuvering issues, and they're pretty much pinned right now. But Op4, with their vehicle support, is eventually going to be able to take this position. We do have Blue 4 Echo close by, though. Tundian is going to attempt a 512-meter shot. And I think he just got it. Minimal damage. I don't see an impact on the ground, so I think he hit the little duckbill front. But I don't see an impact scar either. I have no idea where that round went. Vehicle's engine's clearly still on. I don't see any damage. They are field repairing, though, so he probably disabled the turret. But again, I don't see an impact location. Gun angled slightly down, but it's not down enough for it to be fully disabled. I don't know where he got that hit, but he hit it, clearly. They wouldn't be pulling it back and repairing it if he didn't. It might just not have a texture. Normally you can see a nice little black spot where it impacted, and then the vehicle will show some signs of damage. Interesting, though, that this LAV's been pushed around to cover against the infantry here. We have a Gaz that is pushed up on its own on the far left without taking anybody. I'd imagine Op4 might be trying to ferry their vehicles to get a little closer on that side. And now you got Op4 going in the low ground down here. to then maneuver up. Bluck was, I think, taken out either by overwatching elements or that LAV pushing around. And we have another BMP smoking. I think that's the same BMP. It got flanked by the LAV and taken out. It was Charlotte killed, Mac Marine disabled. Mac quickly gets back in the vehicle to avoid getting gunned down by the LAV's coaxial. But yeah, you can clearly see that there was a damage texture for it. And she is smoking out. LAV otherwise staying on defense on the southern side. But with this LAV coming up, Echo all the way in the back. Looks like the other BMP is with Echo, so that infantry is not going to have any good... It's Delta, too, so they don't even have light anti-tank to deal with that LAV. They can just spray at it and hope to disable its wheels. Maybe it's main gun with MG fire, but... She's just on Overwatch right now. Delta, I think, realizing it's an LAV, is not going to engage because they don't have the weaponry for it. However, they are spotted by far Overwatch elements with an Echo. And they do have a member of the BMP crew back here, and I think that's going to cause up for Echo. I'm surprised they're not going to mount the BMP-3 and potentially push forward. This LAV might go on the ridge and immediately get spotted by the other BMP-3 and potentially taken out. Range is about 750 meters. They're waiting for a skyline. They might see the turret right now. I can just see its silhouette over. I don't see its silhouette anymore, and they're, I think, trying to look for it. See the medium machine gunner engaging it. His symbolism flashing. Oh, he's engaging Echo back here. They managed to get one of the assistants. BMP has spotted the other LAV, managed to smoke it out. She's dead in the water. They still have an engine, but black smoke's coming out. That could be an ammunition or fuel cook-off. There it is, yep. Not an ammo detonation, though. Other LAVs come up. We just saw a trading of fire. They quickly bail out, but that BMP's crew markers have been disabled. That means they have taken a casualty here. So Lolo was solo crewing it. Looks like he bailed out, probably because the vehicle took too much damage. So both Op4 BMPs have been knocked out. Blue 4 still have an LAV on standby, though. And I think that Vic is still cooking off. It hasn't disabled or been destroyed just yet. So we could see the crew get patched up and then brought back in it, but the fuel, I think, is down. Meanwhile, Blue 4 rushed a guy up over here. That was Maxic, and he got taken out by the Op 4 element coming up. So Op 4 still going to be coming up on 3 different angles on this final zone, but they do have an LAV to continue supporting. Though, I think they just bailed out of the vehicle. They're doing a field repair in this little ditch right here to hide from any other potential AT pieces. We still have Iander with Matt. Probably 5 more rounds of medium anti-tank. That's what Matt means. But yeah, this range, he should be able to snipe that LAV pretty easily. How's it going, Starhammer? It's going great. How are you doing? Medium anti-tank from Blue 4 firing at that BMP, not knowing it's already disabled, but round was short anyway from the medium anti-tank gunner. That was an 805-meter shot. And FNF is locked to first person in and out of vehicles. Every POV is first person locked. LAV is now pushing ahead, probably to double tap that vehicle. That could potentially give Iander the ability to snipe it, though, at close range. Meanwhile, we got the 2 helicopter groups throwing grenades overhead. Look at that grenade throw. Quadruple kill! That grenade killed everybody! Holy shit! Beautiful play. The pilots redeeming themselves from breaking the main rotor, and they killed the entire frontal garrison of Blue 4 Meanwhile, this Vic, it looks like it eventually cooked off. Not sure if AT got it or if it just detonated with the fuel detonating the ammunition since the fuel was cooking off. Now you got a close range force right here. Grenades being traded. LAV trying to provide fire support. Where is Iander? He's in the back. He's got the RPG out, waiting to see if the LAV will peek. He might need to aggressively push it, though. Suppressive fire coming on to up for Echo from the Blue 4 defensive area. And Iander's trying to find that LAV to take it out with an RPG at close range. LAV slowly pushing. We got members of Delta on the side, but again, these guys don't have any AT except for the medium anti-tank with Echo here. But it looks like the LAV realizing it's potentially being outflanked, leaving the infantry to die right here. And there goes Blue 4's medium anti-tank. You see the Maws on the ground right there, but Blue 4 have taken out both of the BMPs. However, we do have Alexander on foot. He could potentially move back and try to repair that BMP-3 and bring it back in the late game. 18 minutes remaining on the round. Blue 4's only hope is to hold that sector for those 18 minutes. Infantry member woke up, but he was quickly cut down. RPG fired. It misses. Iander is not drunk enough to use AT right now. He starts dodging suppressive fire, going over his head. So now the question becomes, in this open area, can OPFOR get a force up here within the next 18 minutes? Meanwhile, the pilots fighting for their lives with those PP-2000s. They're fighting Skipu with a frickin' 249 or Mini-Me. Oh! Timex stole an AUG-A3 from one of the bodies here. You can see where he dropped his PP-2000, and now he has the capability to act as a rifleman. However, his buddy, the other pilot, looks like he was taken out. He took an AUG with 203 launcher, but he is going to now take that Mini-Me. Good call. Rags to riches redemption with the pilots here. OPFOR, you see the 3 different flanks they're attacking from. You got 2 vehicles that are going to dismount forces here. You got that battle line advancing, and then this force holding the ridge down. LAV coming around could try to engage and eliminate that BMP-3. Instead, it looks like it's focusing right here, so that BMP-3 could get repaired by that final crewman. And the... Ooh, he flew away. We could see Alexander repair the gun, potentially spot that LAV and take it out. And then OPFOR would have the remaining vehicle support. It needs to shred that final AO and allow for OPFOR to advance and take it. Honestly, OPFOR's only bet is to move up through the ridges here, but you see them starting to move up with these vehicles. Some scouts notice, or some sentries, open fire. Unfortunately, OPFOR try a vehicle dismount as they drag their vehicle back and manage to ragdoll a few people. Looks like they're still alive, though, but that was almost bad, because you got to remember, if you ragdoll, your body has physics, and with the vehicle, that could launch the vehicle back, so that vehicle potentially could have gotten launched into the ocean. We see some GLs firing. They're way high, though. They're smoke GLs. Smoke grenades being thrown overhead. OPFOR is going to try their first major assault here. They do have Bravo in the back line, though, to come and reinforce, but they are a few minutes away. LAV, meanwhile, still in the back line. BMP looking around with its gun. Could get a shot on that LAV. LAV not engaging, not realizing that BMP is up. Game ends in 15 minutes. LAV stops and immediately gets smoked out by the BMP-3. It's trying to turn to engage, but it's already smoking, so it's going to have a fuel out. I think they're going to try to put it in the defilade cover. We also see some white smoke, too. That could be a cook-off. 2 things are cooking off, though. I know one is at least going to be a fuel. They got 3 kills with it, though. Nope. The white smoke means it is dead. And there it goes. So BMP-3 could be further repaired with his engine brought up to the side and start shredding that final fob. Blue 4, 15 minutes work called. It's about 14 and a half now. RPG's firing up. Bravo, though, if they are able to get above the ridge and assist Alpha's push, that could be ideal, but Alpha is taking a lot of casualties here. They have mounted a few guys in this vehicle, and they're going to try to drive right on top of the objective. Does Blue 4 have any light anti-tank? No, this group is focusing on the ridge cover over there. We could see OPFOR get right below this objective. We see some MAT teams firing, knocking out additional walls. Looks like they're trying to hit the vehicle here. And some Blue 4 on the outside of the perimeter here trying to flank this advancing infantry force. We've got 3 Op 4 that have dismounted right below. They could throw some grenades right on top of this position. There they go. There's smokes, though. Some frags. Beautiful placement of the frags. And we have a little position right here that Op 4 are crawling under. They're going to get right on top of Blue 4. However, the medium machine gunner stops one of them from advancing. NASA trying to fight that medium machine gunner. Gets caught in a reload. However, Op 4 have come up from the other side. They kill that medium machine gunner. And this spotter for it also gets taken out by Twins with that RPK. NASA now in the zone. And Op 4 none the wiser. We also have Wombat. He's pushed up with a gas, but his team is quickly taken out. As Op 4 are now rushing and starting to blitz the zone from the south. Twins overwatching NASA some more. NASA gets hit once by that one defender. More shots coming out, though, as Op 4 is starting to blitz from the south. I don't think Blue 4 is going to be able to hold this in 13 minutes. We got more Op 4 pushing from the side. That one Blue 4 defender taken out. BMP still on the edge here. He could start emptying all of his AP ammo into this AO. NASA knocked out. Twins coming around the left side. Wait, that's Cheeseburger. And an explosive is thrown that takes out the entire radar dome. We got Twins hiding in the tower right here. That explosion could have killed off a few more guys. That's definitely going to make Blue 4 fold in even more on this final zone. This game is going to be over in 5 minutes. I'm calling it now. Op 4 pushing a few more guys in this area here. We could see a few more walk in. We have some from the far ridge now. They're not being suppressed also coming in. Car, buddy, thanks for the 37-month resub at tier 3. Hope you're doing okay. Hi to you too. What a grenade throw right there. Phantom realized it got thrown in and is too late to actually pull out. He gets blown out of that defensive line. Beautiful throw by Depso. More medium anti-tank shots firing. That could have been from a stolen Moz because Echo is on top of Blue 4 Echo's dead body, so they do have access to this Moz as well as the RPG. Griffin Pilot coming in, redeeming himself further with that stolen Mini-Me, and managed to get another kill on Blue 4. More AT shots coming in, further knocking out these defenses, and we've got 3 Blue 4, 2 Blue 4 remaining, as that Mini-Me further takes out another person. Timek redeeming himself from breaking that helicopter earlier. We got Company HQ himself for Op 4 coming in. That's Depso trying to lead from the front as Blue 4 are down. 2-2 remaining, but Op 4 now have the number advantage in the zone, so we see the sector slowly starting to be taken, but I think the infantry is going to be dead before that. Grenade goes in, knocks out Op 4 command, but sector's taken. The only Blue 4 survivor is over here hiding from the vehicle, but this is going to be GG as that sector is taken. It takes 90 seconds to take a sector, and it is already through that 60, so we just have this guy hiding as the BMP is just vibing right here, making sure everyone's dead from the wreck, and that is GG. If I have a moderator on, like Larry, buddy, can you pay it out to Op 4? We have one more round after this, and yeah, I think around Razor, buddy, you here? What time do you want to start DayZ? 7:30 or 8 o'clock, or do you need to go later? You see them blowing stuff up on this position just to make sure everything's clear. 45 seconds remaining. They're just deading the remaining positions here. You see explosive charges being thrown on it just to fully clear it out. But that is pretty much GG. That's saying, well, there goes another 50K. I'm sorry, buddy. 7:30 ET. 7:30 EST, right? That's fine? All right. Awesome. That gives me some time to change up the Plinko board and get Czar's thing processed on the document for POG. And then give me time to, you know, do some stuff over there as well. Gambling addiction. Nah, guys, if you want to gamble, we got the Plinko board for gambling. EDT? I always use EST. I think frickin' whatchamacallit, daylight saving should be abolished by now. We're in a globalized frickin' economy. With the rest of the world, we don't need the frickin' world on, like, one side of it to shift for an hour, while the other side doesn't for, like, 2 weeks. But hey, that's just me. Anyway, there's the sector officially taken. GG. Alright. Let's see what our third round is, and while that's going, we'll be back after these messages. As an Arma 3 content creator, one of the most common questions I get from fans is where can I find a good Arma 3 unit to play in? One of my biggest recommendations is milsimunits.com. You can click on the Arma button on the main browser, and it'll take you to a page where you can see various different Arma unit listings. Each listing has a nice picture representing the unit, a brief synopsis, and the information you need to join the unit. Unit leaders can also sign up on the website for free by simply joining the website's Discord. Alright. See, this time they did it correctly, so now I can start focusing on the map command and mission command. So District 31 going to be for round 3. Mission command, let's get that updated. This is round 3. It is going to be opt for attacking 2 terminals in a sector. Or it is attacking 2 blue 4 sectors. And if I could spell it right, that would be great. Terminal site. Op4 has a 5% numbers advantage. What else does Op4 have? A BTR 80 and transport. No. Okay, hold on. A BTR-80 for GAZ Nix with PKTs and transport, while Blue 4 has... What do they have? They've got 2 M2 static turrets and an M2 Humvee. Awesome. Daisy will be at 7:30 EST tonight. With Plinko. Alright, there we go. Mission command is updated. Everything should be good to go. I'm thinking if I have the time this weekend, I might not, but I want to take that ad. I want to put a few, like, joke ads with it. That's been something I wanted to do for years, but I've never had the time. But we'll take it sooner or later. And I agree, UTC is nice, but these days I just use Discord timestamps to put all my times in properly, so... Either way, we'll go for everything. You've won 2 predictions. Good job, Obsidian. Keep it going. Alright, in the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit of bookkeeping work. Got someone asking me about mission for tomorrow. Got them their answer. Someone asking me about how the mod sets are going to work for the Zeus rotation. Simple answer there is I make the mod set, but I do take recommendations. If I like the mod set that someone has, though, as a recommendation, I'll just use it. I'll just make some fine tweaks for certain things. Someone asking me what for fighting bots or bugs for tomorrow's Helldiver Ops. It's going to be fighting bots, and we're going to be the team that liberates the Helldivers from the PlayStation Network. Fun fact. Jay-Z want another go at the Zeus rotation, so let me go get his name added to that on the Zeus channel. Well, I have 4 names. We'll see what else gets added, and then I need to go into the Helldiver roster. Start getting added. Wait, no, okay, he wants that, so let me... get those processed, because someone was asking if they could play with somebody else, and I said if he gives a request in, then sure, and we had Alpha 1-3 open up, so I can put them both in a group together, and now I gotta get everyone billeted for this, and then I might have to unlock the 4th squad. Don't you love multitasking? And I always appreciate the people that say any so I can fill them in on any slot. I heard the ding. Give me a second. More slots have been opened. Like I said, I am multitasking to the best of my ability. And we still haven't pushed through yet. Alright. Who dinged me? Hey Woo, all I ask is that Pog rate the paper paint ops you've done doing. Like to hear, because they've known. Gotcha. So, Czar, what I can tell you is, I know... I'm just trying to think, I know Air got mad at something, but it wasn't really to do with pay for pain. It was the fact that they never got upgraded. They had literally like 13 or 14 missions to upgrade their Griffin gunships. And it would have only taken a few points. It's just Patch or Mac didn't think to do it, ever. And it only cost a few points to upgrade them, so after they got upgraded to now they have an Mi-24G and a Venom gunship, they haven't gotten any complaints since, and they're a lot more effective in the air. That was a major complaint from them, but that was, again, something that should have been taken care of a long time ago. Probably about, like, mission 4 or 5, but no one thought to. Otherwise, I mean... Here, 1 second. Right from my feedback channel. And this is publicly available too if you go to Arma Op feedback, but I mean here's a copy paste. As much as I can put in. Oh. But so far it's been positive. The only times they've been really getting killed off though is if they do stupid stuff like try to loot T55s even though they have a free M60A3 or T80 UK. Wait, They're just very silly, but it's balanced. And again, we get feedback like that, so they're clearly enjoying it, Czar. So we're fine. We're fine in that sense. But if they weren't, I would definitely let you know. All right, so Op 4 have a choice of 2 different spawn points here. District 41, the German map, is the map for this, but Bergen going to be having 2 terminals and a sector, and then Op 4 in the village of Gingst and Pasta Bridge. But, yeah, we have a lot of fun doing commentary and doing zoo stuff, but I want to let everyone know, just again, my stance of everything is I am definitely for the players first. So their experience is absolutely critical to me because without them, we don't have ops, you know? I don't have content to stream for you guys, so I make sure their voices are heard. I will admit it is a gigantic pain in the ass to get feedback from them, but I do my best. So when they tell me what's going on, I make adjustments. Like, I've got, for a 40k op tomorrow, it's such ingrained in me. I was told to be a bit nicer about the AAA because Air wants to have an easier time. So the only AAA that's going to be in that AO is the one that's marked on a position. So they can quickly bomb that and then have a better time, and then they can have, you know, other aircraft to fight. That's what they told me, so I'm going to make that adjustment. But I only know what the players tell me. So getting constructive feedback from people is the difficult thing. But people can outright say, like, hey, you do this, in your op, in future ops, you not do that. And I go, absolutely. Because it's my job to make things fun. And if I feel like that's not the case, I try to make adjustments where I can. But if they ask me for something that I can't give them, I go, okay, well, I can't do that, and here's why, but here's what I can do instead. I always try to work with my players because they're the most important part. Back in the day when we worked under Luton09 back in 2016 and 2017, and he eventually got ousted by all of his players, it's because he never worked with his players. He just kind of became a dick. And now he just does 40k stuff, and he's still a dick. But anyway, let's go ahead and get our FNF roster up. So this is Op 4 attacking and Blue 4 defending, just making sure that's correct. We'll set it to 15 minutes. And there we go. Let's go ahead and rapid fire our roster here, guys. So, task for this one, Blue 4 defending 2 terminal sites and a sector. Briefing, we've got a kilometer of render distance, 100 points for Fortify. Fortify color is going to be green, and the the op time is going to be our standard FNF 50 minutes. Background for this, oh, we got 3 paragraphs here. Let's go. January 2037, after years of attack against the outer NATO countries during the inevitable war, the Kremlin has given... Why is it always... It's always Russia versus somebody with FNF, I swear. The Kremlin has given the green light to Operation Crimson, an all-or-nothing blitzkrieg aimed at the very heartland of NATO, Germany. In preparation for the amphibious landing of over 200,000 men from conquered Finland into northeastern Germany, the Russian Union troops Op 4 must take the town of Bergen off Rügen, disable the artillery radar up there, and secure the wider area. With no prior knowledge of the assault, NATO only have a handful of German soldiers, Blue 4, who are in the town guarding the radar position. They must fight to the last man in order to protect Bergen and help prevent the unthinkable fall of their homeland to the Russian war machine. All right. Blue 4 are going to be probably Bundevik. Yep. I always butcher the name. I'm so sorry. It's here's my attempt. Bundeswehr. Bundevik. Sorry. I always have someone yell at me for my pronunciation of that word. I'm sorry. But anyway, they got G36s with 203s underneath. We got 416s for the marksman rifle, which is a 5.56 platform, but they get the 230 scope or an ACOG of their choice. Mini-Me's for the light machine gunners, AT4s for the light anti-tank gunners in the squads, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. Echo has the Maz, the medium anti-tank weapon, and that appears to be it. They have an M2 Humvee for defense with 600 rounds of M2, and then 2 static standing M2s with 400 rounds across 4 boxes. Op 4, meanwhile, loadouts are going to be your Russian Ratnik Woodland cost. Jesus. Taking a step back, Russian Ratnik Woodland kits here. They've got AK-74s, one with GP 25 systems. Looks like they have NP... I think they have the choice of having NPC railing for Western Optics, or they can take Eastern Optics with them as well. But we have SVDs, RPKs for the light machine gunners with the 45-round banana mags, RPG-7s for the light anti-tank, they get 2 rounds, and then PB-2000s for the crew, because they do have a BTR-80 in play. It just has the KPVT gun with the PKT, and 500 rounds of 14.5 millimeter, and the PKT has 250 round boxes. We've got 4 Gaz Vodniks with PKTs. I'm going to be honest, it sucks to gun these things because your character literally stays in place regardless of where you turn the gun. So it's very easy to get headshotted out of these. I wouldn't recommend being in that position. And then you got 6 transport Gaz Vodniks. You got to remember these are amphibious though, so we'll see what they do because these guys are actually fully amphibious here. Otherwise, Blue 4 spawn is going to be this radar position right here. Terminal 1 is going to be the radar site itself to interact with the radar there. Terminal 2 going to be another radar site, and then the sector itself seems to be a little picnic overlook area with a Castle Dane area on it. It's quite scenic, I'll give it that. Otherwise, Czar, I'll get to that in a second. Let me get through everything here. Wombat's going to be our company lead. NASA leading Alpha with Cuboid as the marksman with that 416. Masano, Jinsalvi, and Timek under him. Alpha 1 has Bluck, Cheeseburger, Kremitz, Sayek, and Depso under him. Bravo being led by Eric with Major Khan as the marksman. Ash, Tackleberry, Banks, and Harana under Bravo 1. No, Bravo 2. Charlie being led by Yanni Finn with Malin as the medic. Kabubi Face as an MG3 gunner. And SL Dream, I would assume, as an assistant. Okay. Yeah, so he's right there. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Nemesis with Charlie 1 with Twins, Dobbs, and Flying Finn. Looks like they're taking a few of the Delta medium machine gunners and putting them in Charlie because that's the only way that you can get an MG3 because their auto rifle, I thought, was the Mini-Me. Otherwise, Echo has Kathleen with Iander taking the AT role again. Let's see if we get some redemption tonight from those shots in the previous round, and then Carlson Wise being his assistants. So this group will have 6 AT shots total, and then Alpha 2 has Artis. I'm assuming he's going to join up with Alpha Actual in that group. Otherwise, Op 4 being led by Murphy with Insimi as the platoon medic. Fonz leading Alpha with Henry as the marksman, T as the medic. Alpha 1 has Roderick, Crazy, Toms, Pupper, Pierce, Snajaper, Renly, and Nolik. Alpha 2 has Hans von Zetor. Yep, because the name gets cut off. You gotta hover over to see the full rest of it. Killer Cake, Roland, Alfie, Wolf on Isles, Phantom, and Muniz. Bravo being led by Alexander with Kiri as the marksman, Macmarine as the 2IC with that GP25 under his AK, Charlotte as a light anti-tank gunner, Sam as a auto rifleman. Charlie Actual has Bates leading with Patriot as the marksman. Charlie 1 has Smith, Medin, France, and Norris. Golf, which is the vehicle crew, has Grass, MLG, and Damien. Then Charlie 2, which will probably merge with Charlie 1 or Charlie Actual, excuse me. Looks like he just merged with Charlie 1, actually, is Waldo. All right. Instead of saying an S, say Zuwer or Vuwer. So... Bundevuer. Bundevuer. Probably still butchered that, but thank you for correcting me on that. Because again, pronunciation for me sucks. Sorry. Pronunciation. Pronunciation. Fuck you. Mine sucks. Regardless. Bundeswehr. 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 Wunderbar. Say it more aggressively. Oh, yeah, that's just standard German. Bundeswehr. Bundeswehr. We're here for Friday Night Fights, not for me to say random lines in German. Help me. I need Bloodwind to come down here and pronounce it properly, because she's the language person. I'm the math person, okay? It is past 5 o'clock, unless she's working a bit of overtime right now, so I could yell for her, but she's still traumatized over Plinko last night. She's the spy, right? Yeah. Oh, God, don't even remind me. Nonetheless, I think the AO has been drawn like this so Op 4 doesn't, or excuse me, Blue 4 doesn't know where Op 4 is coming from because there's a lot of different MSRs here. Blue 4, I mean, with their force, this is a slam dunk defense. Just hold the town. Guide the enemy in, ambush them, defeat them. She did have Plinko grade schooler math problems. Yes, again, she's the language expert. I'm the math expert. All right, that's how we combo. Or pronunciation of pronunciation. Oh, god damn it. Yes, a word that can be spelled entirely the same has 2 different ways to say it. Don't worry about it. My pronunciation of Bundeswehr is better than my pronunciation of Fusch. Yeah. Yeah. Germans versus Russians round 2. Yeah, right? Because last week I think we had that, but we'll see how things go. Pronunciation. No, I'm going to say it as pronunciation, alright? Screw you. I'm going to say it. Look, one of the things that I've had to iron out of Bloodwing is every time I say a word wrong, she'll immediately cut me off and say the word correctly, and I just stare at her. And I've politely asked her not to do it anymore because I just feel so stupid. And now when she does it, I just stare at her and I'm like, why? You know I'm dumb. And then she just pets my head and just stares at me and then says it anyway. You're saying foosh, not foosh? How do I say it? Fook? Okay, maybe not that. Ian's not here, right? Yeah, it's PG-13. We can get away with one of those, alright? There's pronunciation and Liru pronouncing... What? Pronunciatali. No. Pronunciatil. Error, what the hell is that word? Yeah, and then an S and then it's perfect. I don't want to say it again, though. Otherwise, we get turned to rated R, and then I get a fun little email from Ian. I don't like his fun little emails. The last time we got a fun little email, it was because I said the word for bread in French. Or the 1970s Soviet AT launcher. Apparently, we're not allowed to say that word. I didn't even say the word. Someone else said the word on my stream. I can't win. The pronouns nation? Baguette. Yes, it rhymes with that French word for bread. Anyway. We have 5 minutes remaining. Honestly, just opt for just go through the forested areas, go right into Main Street. It's really hard to read the forest on this map, though, because everything's green. So just visualize it. Come up this area from where their AO is started, and then engage in CQC. Blue 4, do your best to defend in CQC. That's it. That's how we win. Fuchs? Is that how we say Foosh? F-E-W-K-S? I don't know. Look, I'm a Zeus. I'm good at making... well, arguably good at making missions. I'm not going to say good outright, because I can be dumb, but... 90% of the time the mission file works. 10% of the time, it decides, hey, fam, I know you tested this with 7 people, but you didn't test it with 40, so I'm not going to load right. Suck it. God, I'm still pissed off about Monday. That's fine. It happens. That's like at least the 10th or 20th mission file. Not the 20th. That's like the 10th or 12th mission file that, you know, we tested and still it refused to work properly. When you've been doing this for so long, that's to be expected. You're going to have a dud like that once in a month or two. Why? Because Arma doesn't like you. As Liru just said, I am dumb. Yes, that is a fact, okay? I am dumb. I'm love-struck by this chucklehead upstairs. And the best I can do is give her a nice date night, alright? And give you guys a laugh. I'm the village idiot. And we're putting... hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. And the best I can do is put an M2 on this... Why did you move? I'm trying to put an M2 on your head. So it's like a little hat. No, don't take it away. Don't take his hat away. No! Oh, well. Oh, yeah, no, Shadow, that's my favorite. When an Arma mod literally updates, I can count, I think, 3 different instances over the past 6 months where we put the server up, and in between, like, the 20 to 30 minutes of me putting the server up and having people start to join, and then us starting the op, like, 30 minutes later, a mod updates. So then people start joining with that updated mod, and then they get kicked out for a key issue because the latest set of keys aren't on the server yet. So then I have to stop the op, and we have to delay it by like 10 or 15 minutes because I have to manually update it on the server, manually update the keys, and then get everyone on. That has happened at least 3 times in the past 6 months. And I hate it. That happened to your Halo unit you had on Wednesday? Yeah. See, groups like the 506, what they do is they just locally download all the mods, and they update them every 6 months, give or take. I'd say 3 to 6, actually. Didn't, by the way. So that way, if something updates on Steam, it doesn't screw them over. Which is smart, but then you have to download local copies of those mods. But they keep their mod set small. It's only like 10, 15 mods tops. But, I mean, the cost of that is you can't have a massive mod set with a bunch of stuff because then you have to locally download everything. It's a pain in the butt. And you have to have a lot of storage space for that, but it works for them. Plus, they add some really cool stuff on occasion. Like, they've got the new U.S. rifles. The Spear, the M7 Spear, and the M8 something something. So that's fun. I don't know how you can say anything bad about Arma 3. There's never anything broken or glitchy about it ever. Right, Yoshi? Haha. Right, because I forgot I'm an influencer for Arma 3. So if I say anything bad, John Arma will literally break into my house, stare me down, and drown my goldfish in front of me. And you know what? I don't want that to happen. I like my goldfish. I don't want it to drown. So yeah, Arma 3 is a perfectly wonderful game with exactly 0 bugs, guys. 0. Mr. Flibbles on Twitch and Highland Media, thank you for the raids, guys. What were you guys playing? We are currently in the last round of Friday Night Fights. Round just began. Op4 switched their intro up last second. They were eventually going to spawn up there, but instead they've gone down here, and we'll see where they go. This is a simple 2-terminal site and a sector defense of a town, and we'll just wait for Op4 to trickle in. Liru, is it not time for more Armor Reforger? You will start seeing a bit more Armor Reforger on the Wednesday Secret Squirrel slots bi-weekly, but I'm still waiting on the bake time for Armor Reforger. I'm going to be honest, until they get a 2D editor, or I guess technically a 3D editor like Eden, or 3D Enhanced, I'm not going to touch Reforger until I have an editor to pre-make mission files, because it's so painful to make a mission in a server and then find out we have to restart the server for some BS reason, like a mod updates. So, until I have something like that where I can pre-build stuff, you're not going to see a lot of Reforger from me. Drunk Firebear giving Larry a sub. Drunk Firebear, thanks for making sure my moderators are subbed so they can see the ads I decide to show them. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, my friend. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. And we have our resident leash boy, Twitch admin, Ian here, to keep me in line and make sure I don't say German words incorrectly. How you doing, Ian? Hope your weekend is looking bright for you, buddy. And yeah, Reforger is pretty much squad, but, you know, with customization. Quick, bully Liru. Don't do that. I can't say anything negative about you. Damn it, Moxie. I hope you have a wonderful day. Wait, Drunk. Firebear, can you give Moxie a sub so he goes back in sub jail? He hates it. And I want to see him miserable. Please. Not too bad, just dealing with a big issue with Twitch playback in Europe, so having fun. Ooh. Well, I hope you can figure it out. Drunk Firebear, I love you, buddy. It makes Moxie so mad when he gets a gift sub. I love it. I will pull the plug for the bots. Oh, come on, Mox. I need that to track. Ah. Damn it, he can threaten me with that. It's okay, Mox. The bots don't really... Actually, they do do some important stuff. But I can't let you know about that. I have to make it look like I don't care if you pull the plug. So, do it, Mox. I dare you. All right, now we're reverse psychologying him, so he's not going to do it. See? You got to get in his head and manipulate him. You got to gaslight him, all right? It works sometimes. Here's the thing about that, though. Don't gaslight Greek women. Trust me, I know. Don't ever gaslight Greek women. That's how I lost Lefty. I don't want to lose Righty. And I'm going to let you guys figure out who Lefty and Righty are, okay? Because Ian's here, and I can't tell you specifically, but seriously, don't gaslight Greek women ever. Anyway... Op4 doing a dismount along the road here. Looks like they're going to follow the forests in. Blue 4 does have a garrison overwatching the MSR, so we'll see if they spot the Op4 infantry coming up. It looks like they potentially could. I do hear AT4s coming out, so it looks like they did spot the infantry dismount here from the vehicles, so we'll see them come up. It is like sticking your not sticking your finger in the fire, it's sticking the whole damn hand in the fire at that point. Alright. So we've got some armed Gazvodniks coming up on the right side. I didn't catch where the BTR was. Oh, it's on its own on the left. Ah, yes. Classic FNF. Why don't we take our vehicle asset and have it F off somewhere else instead of supporting the infantry? That sounds great. Let's do that. Anyway. Bravo now rushing forward with that Vodnik, but it only has 2 people in it. See, if you're going to rush the vehicle out, at least rush it with the infantry so you can do a close dismount. This is just kind of teasing. And your infantry is not in a position to dismount early, so you're just announcing where you're coming from at that point. Now, when you have a bunch of people on the server and you can attack from multiple vectors, that's fine to draw attention away from one side, but when you're literally leading your infantry... It's the dumbest thing you can do. It's literally like taking your helicopter and hovering it over your advancing line. Why is someone knocked out? Wow. Hey, by the way, guys, did you know that Kiri is the chief liaison for FNF events? So he messages me every week before FNF to ask me if everything's okay and do a check-in with me, and he just decided to dismount a moving vehicle. Good for Kiri. So why is Bravo rushed out ahead of everybody here? And why is Echo all the way over here? Mr. BTR has a little bit of a ridge here. What is going on? Well, it is the last round, so usually people do dumb stuff in the last round. They hear the BTR. Unfortunately, they hear it in the wrong direction, but the 50 cal is going to cover their butt. Hey, look. Why did you get off of the 50? They just... Oh! Patriot snipes him in the face and gets a double kill. Oh! Oh, my God. Well, the BTR is saved. What luck. That was kind of funny. I was fully expecting that, that kill, but oh well. That was literally a jump scare, too. That was funny as hell. All right, Op 4 moving up. They got a free 50 cal Vic now. Cullis gets up. Bates notices him. Bates, I guess, has some brain lag and gets saved by other people because he was going to die to Cullis there. I don't really understand what that was for. Anyway, Op 4's moved up a bit further. But what a weird infantry dispersion we have for Op 4. Thankfully, it's paid off so far, but there's been a lot of weird calls here. Oh yeah, Daz's connection was being wonky. I don't have any drop frames on my side, Ian. I don't know what's going on, but who the heck knows? I totally love our Twitch overlords and Bezos and all of that fun stuff. Oh, well, Daz, if you're here, you can explain your side, but yeah, wherever Daz is, I think he's on mobile. Twitch servers were being a bit funky, but I don't have any drop frames, so it's not on my side. Because if I lag out, I know immediately, thanks to how OBS displays things and my knowledge of network, but yeah, so Op 4 literally just gonna move up the forest here, get to where Bravo dismounted, and just take everything one at a time. Blue 4 hasn't realized... Nope, they have started to realize Op 4's main force is coming from down here, so all the stuff they sent north is gonna fold back in, and they're just gonna have a CQC hold, so we'll see how things go. It's fixed now. Yes, so Ian has fixed it, guys. Don't worry about it. Yeah, let's give everyone, let's give Ian a round of applause, everyone, all right? Because without him, Bezos would lose $1 million out of the billions, all right? But without Ian, I wouldn't be able to stream here anyway, so yeah, let's actually seriously thank Ian. All right, so I think those are Hunt IRs going up. We actually, yeah, we have a Hunt IR over there. All right, there's another Hunt IR. Two of them fired GLs in the air, though. I don't know what the other one was about, but yeah. He earns his keep. Hell yeah, Ian. Thank you, buddy. All right, now we have a bit of a lull here. And we have Op 4 now coming to trickle in. So Blue 4, it looks like they spotted the Hunt IR. They started shooting at it. When you shoot the Hunt IR, it makes it fall to the ground quicker, which minimizes the time Op 4 has to actually do proper recon on Blue 4 positions. So good eyes on Blue 4 for picking that off, but now we're going to see some pretty nasty town CQC. We have Kiri with the SVG trying to line up some shots to get some kills here, but he is immediately knocked into cover by suppression. And we'll see what Op 4 can do with a BTR 80 in a CQC environment. Now, that KPVT on it, the 14.5mm, is an armor-defeating round, so it could potentially punch through walls and whatnot. So we'll just have to see how it's utilized. Oh! I was expecting the AT4 to dome it, but it was short. So that BTR survives for a little longer. Excellent. All right, Flying Finn is dead on here. Kabubi Face also in the forward position has died. The entirety of Echo was wiped. Iander somehow died here. I would be willing to bet he drunkenly slipped off the battle tower. And, yeah. That means Iander is too drunk. Which explains why Cats had the AT piece. Meanwhile, we see some grenades being thrown. Blue 4 trying to hold this position. Grenade thrown right here. That's going to potentially kill Bates. Gets a double kill. Grenade rolls down. Might get Norris. Rolls down too far. So Masano with some great grenade throws. Trying to hold on his own. His battle buddy NASA is unconscious, though. And now we're seeing all those Blue 4 elements that were on the outskirts starting to fold in and set up some defensive lines to potentially push Op4 out of the town and force an open engagement here. Timek folds out, gets into a 2v1 with Waldo and Norris. He gets knocked out. Shame, he had that 249, or mini-me, it's the same thing. Well-timed grenade gets thrown. That knocks out Norris, but Jen Salvi gets knocked out by another grenade. Ah, yes, the classic joke. Nice trip, see you next fall. Very applicable here when it comes to grenades. So majority of the Op4 infantry hasn't been able to deploy yet into the outskirts of the town. Looks like they're coming in now, but Blue 4 Company HQ might try to put a stop to it. NASA has woken back up. Masano is dead, interesting enough. And now we're having some CQC with the local infantry here. Jinsalvi and Cuboid also trying to hold. NASA gets the kill, coming around. Smith trying to catch NASA in the reload. NASA dodging shots, but the last bullet on Smith's magazine knocks NASA out. Headshot. That's unfortunate. You know, it's funny when people do that to evade the bullets. The trick when you run into someone doing that on you is center the place they're running back and forth on and just line the gun up with where their head is, and you will watch them literally run into the line of fire and get headshotted. It's the funniest thing. That's what I do when people do that little serpentine maneuver. I just line up the gun in the middle and just let them run into the bullets instead of trying to follow them. Because that's what they want you to do. They want you to follow it so they can dodge all the shots locally. Instead, just steady the weapon in the middle and keep the recoil down. That's all you got to do. And it's funny as hell. Alright, so we got Op4 starting to push up to the first Blue 4 line of defense here that was harassing the original group that came in. Most of Op4 has moved in at this point. So now the question is, can Blue 4 inflict enough attrition to eliminate all of Op4? Op4's saving grace, though, is going to be their explosive experts. If they brought satchels, they can blow up any building that has Blue 4 defenders on it, as long as it has a destruction texture. The question is going to simply be, can Op4 do that? But we still have some Blue 4 elements flanking right here. Crazy just got knocked out by Cuboid. We have Norris around here on the side. Looks like he's realized he might be on his own, so he's going to come around instead. And we also have Blue 4 Company HQ that might come in and attack the rear of this Op4 line. And we do have the BTR-80. Once again, is it here supporting the infantry? No, it's going off and doing its own stupid thing. Why? Because that's how vehicles and FNF work. And Jen Salvi, yep, you did die, but you did get 2 kills. So your battle buddies are in a good position to flank, but Norris could come around and potentially flank your battle buddies. So, double-edged sword on the flank. Now you got everyone trying to turn and engage the infantry up here. If Artis could get up and get a good grenade throw, that's all he's going to need. But it looks like he is taking shots everywhere. Grenades being thrown on him. His grenades are going to end up short, though. He's trying to cook them. Artist doing that good old-fashioned slide around and fire with your gun low. Pops another grenade out for safety. Op 4, meanwhile, starting to get in the first few buildings, but Blue 4 have set up another defensive line. But Blue 4 is committing all of their infantry on this line defense. That's a good call. Company HQ coming out, plopping some well-placed GLs, but they're not on target. If he adjusts a little to the right. He's whiffing them. He only gets a handful of those. Wow, Wolf on Isles getting a really lucky GL there through the smoke. More GLs firing. Wombat gets a kill. Kills the RPG gunner. And again, I think he only has 3. Might have 1 or 2 more, though. Might be up to 5. I always forget the amount of GLs. Blux come down. He's starting to get knockouts. Yeah, so he's down to smoke now. So only 3 UGLs. He could retreat in the forest, come back in a different angle, and get some kills, though. I don't know. Blue 4 still have some solid defensive lines. Op 4 stuck back here, and they're just kind of getting absolutely annihilated at every angle. You saw another Op 4 member just get taken out. Bluck now holding the front. All of the Op 4 garrison that was up here have been taken out. Tymek got killed. Artur got taken out. Now you got Cuboid moving around. Wombat along the rear. Op 4 trying to push forces around at a different angle. You do have some Op 4 elements on the front, but if you bet Blue 4, I would be feeling pretty good right now. Cuboid's come up. He put a few shots down. I don't think he got any kills, though, because that body was killed from the GL. Cuboid's now blindly firing. But if Cuboid has some grenades, now would be the time. Wombat's come up at a different angle. He is now engaging the rear of this force. That BTR-80's finally come up. It's engaging Cuboid. Got this other Op 4 element right here, but I think Blue 4 have Op 4 2-1 in terms of numbers right now. You see all those skulls. Blue 4, though, less skulls, but definitely less... you can see that they get cut off about to right here. Meanwhile, Op 4 have a pretty full page, but they have a lot more skulls, so hard to say who has a number advantage, but just looking at it objectively, Op 4 is really grouped up in certain areas. Blue 4 having more control and starting to envelop where Op 4 is. This is definitely leaning to a Blue 4 victory. And I think that's mainly because of the tactics they utilize to get into the AO. Having a group of 5 rush ahead and tip off to Blue 4 where they were coming in from, so Blue 4 could take all the forces that were on the outskirts and fold them in and reform their defensive lines and even flank when the main force was coming in, I think was really Op 4's downfall. They jumped the gun on their insurgent when they could have either maneuvered as an entire group. It's tough to say as well, though, because they did get spotted early on from the ridge. So some people realized they were spotted and then rushed up. Everyone else should have rushed up with them, but oh well. Meanwhile, Bluck knocking out a few more elements as Op 4 now shifting to the right. That's allowing more time for more Blue 4 elements to push through. We do have some Op 4 elements breaking through, but there's still some Blue 4 on security. Bluck goes in, double taps Fawns. He's on 5 kills with that mini-me. Cuboid on 3 with a marksman rifle. Pierce gets knocked out by Bluck's mini-me. And there goes Tom. Pierce could wake back up. He does. Bluck, though, stuck on a reload. I think Pierce has the headshot. Pierce! Oh my god, he might not see him. His AirPods are in. Oh my god, Pierce, no! Cuboid running up, he's gonna find that remaining garrison. Can he get a grenade in? He starts shooting. Gets 2. So anyway, Cuboid started blasting. A frag, no, it's a smoke gets thrown in. What is that? Oh, what bullshit luck is that? Cuboid runs around, empties his handgun into another guy. That's 3 kills for Cuboid. He's on 6. He's now running around his Op 4. Super confusing. Cuboid gets away. Oh my god. Henry gets a kill. Depso gets a kill on Henry's battle buddy, though. Op4 can no longer trade evenly. Bluck comes in. He throws a grenade. Lands it in the building as now Hands runs out. Cuboid and Bluck manage to take him out because Bluck has the damn mini-me. 9 kills. I think that was 10 for Bluck, actually. Nope, it's counted as 9. Depso runs in as well. Cuboid on 6, Bluck on 9. We still have the BTR in the rear doing absolute jack shit. Blue 4 didn't take the M2 Humvee, which I think was also a massive miscall. Op 4 are down to 4 in the zone. Curie doing his best to pick people off, trying to get a kill on Cheeseburger, but he's showing us all why the SVD kind of sucks. Curie, you gotta hit him. The lid. The lid. Aw, you only have 10 bullets. No wonder. I got the PKT firing at Bluck, and Bluck's just like, yeah, you can't hit me with that, though. Ah, Larry's trying to diagnose me with skill issue for the SVD. Okay. Anyway, another Op4 member just died up here. I don't even know who it was. 3 Op4 left in the zone as Cheeseburger's trying to kill Henry. Gets a... Oh, Henry, if he doesn't jump, he's dead. He's dead. Retribution grenade, I think got caught in the tree, though, and absorbed all the shrapnel. And Curie just got found and killed. It is up to Norris. Can Norris channel? He's on 3 kills, by the way. All right. Yeah, no, he just got a kill right there. All right, I'm not going to curse him. Not yet. I didn't finish it. I didn't say his name. We all know whose name I was going to say, but I didn't say it. I didn't curse Norris. Not yet. I want to see if he can do it. Well, and Charlotte, go sleep, goober. Op4 has been annihilated. It's pretty clear who's going to win, but we can't pay it out just yet because there is a chance. Norris has gotten 3 kills, so there is a chance. Block, did he pick up an RPG? He did. He's trying to find an angle on that BTR, which is now mobile. Truck Firebag giving a sub to Charlotte. Nice. Now. Hope you will keep enjoying the operations, playing and watching. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. I love how you guys finish it. When you put biceps on it, I love it. For those of you that are new, if you haven't gone to the VODS channel and looked up Audrey Hotto yet, the man literally went 23-0 and soloed a 3-way objective. It is the best PvP play you will ever see in Arma 3. And we caught it step by step. He was so good, the admins literally had to, like, go over the RPT file to make sure he wasn't cheating. He caused such an uproar, and to my knowledge, that kill ratio for one life PvP with an FNF or OFCRA even hasn't been broken. It's only come close, but because people have used vehicle assets. And then I think T5 Bay came close one time with an MG3 in the World War II stuff, but it was... Literally, everyone had automatic rifles. There's the RPG hit on a Vodnik. Bluck. Oh, gets killed by suppression! And his reign of terror is over. What a shame. Norris pulling back to his friendlies back here. I think Op4's down to like 5 or 6 people at this point, and we still have 27 minutes left. All right, so 3 people there, 1 uncon, 1 up, and 1 there. So yeah, 5 people. Yeah, Revenge came close too with a marksman rifle, but again, Audrey Hotto, he didn't have a marksman rifle, he didn't have a vehicle, he didn't have a machine gun. He looted a machine gun for the second half, but that man literally started with a rifle. Went through like 4 or 5 different guns to keep getting ammo, and he just tore everybody apart. Lopsu, if you look up on YouTube Liru's VODs, you'll find my VOD channel. Actually, no, you don't even have to do that. You can just type Liru's VODs and then Audrey Hotto, and it should come up. Stefanic's just writing who. Ha! If anyone finds the video, though, feel free to post it in chat. But it is still my favorite PvP combo. If there was one round of PvP to watch, it would be that. Because literally, the man has his entire team wiped within the first, like, 5 to 10 minutes. And then he just goes John Wick on everybody. Ow! I didn't say it, but I had a feeling something like that might happen. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate it. Alright, so we got Wombat, Blue 4 Command, lurking around in the back. We have a wounded guy here, for someone that turned out of the BTR. He's getting double tapped. And you have a driver and gunner over here. You have an open door right here, so if someone were to run in, they could actually shoot the driver and gunner from this angle. Very dangerous to have that open, gentlemen. Hey, that was an RPG. You guys should probably drive away, right? You're waiting for grass to probably get in. Very nice of you. However, lucky for you, Cheeseburger is a bad shot. Or was it Depso? I don't know. Oh, here comes Wombat. Through the forest. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Murphy survives. Wombat, shoot him. Wombat, that's a grenade. Is that going to get Murphy? It does. It also knocks down in Simi. He's already been knocked out too, so that might end him. If that grenade didn't knock out the bush, though, the bush would have absorbed all the shrapnel. And Simony wakes back up. Wow. And Wombat. No! Depso spots him and knocks him out again. Nice. Double tap shots by Depso. That is that. Now we just have the BTR left. All right, Mr. BTR. Can you channel your inner Audrey Hotto and win the match on your lonesome? Alright guys, well it is a BTR-80. It's pretty well armored. It does have that KPVT turret with that 7.62 PKT coax. It does have a large target profile, which is great for absorbing enemy fire. And rockets. But unfortunately, the BTR is about to run into its first obstacle. The barricade. I don't know. I think the barricade of rocks is going to be pretty steady here. The BTR, oh, it turns left, avoiding the barricade. And now the BTR, its first objective is in sight. It has this terminal site. The BTR has to come up and interact with the terminal. Unfortunately, the BTR has no hands. So how can the BTR interact? Oh, wait a minute. Grass has decided to get out of the BTR. But we do have Stone here. Can Stone stop Grass? You would think Stone is able to ground Grass up, but unfortunately, Stones also don't have eyes. So he didn't see Grass coming. And thus the terminal has been hacked. And Grass is struggling to get back into the BTR because he doesn't have hands because he is Grass. Now, will Stone stop the terminal hack? He's got... Wait, Stone's actually going for it. Nemesis is using his gun on the BTR, and he's making the BTR panic and drive away. Can Stone stop the hack? Come on, Stone, I believe in you. One of my favorite people in the world is named Stone. Come on. You can do it, Stone. Oh, Yanni comes in, and he does Stone's job, and he stops the data terminal hack. Excellent. The BTR is still going. It is now going to... Where's it? I have no idea what it's doing. The BTR executes a 3-point U-turn and drives away as Nemesis pursues it with his mini-me. Is that an RCO on your freaking... No, it's just a red dot. All right. The BTR fires. Grass gets out. And the G36 beats out a PvP-2000. Twins has a Moz. Can he fire again as it's steered away? No, the BTR explodes. All right, MLG, you're a Major League gamer, right? Get yourself out of this situation. Stop being on fire. He gets a kill. He gets 2 kills. And he's immediately killed by Depso. Anyway, that is a Blue 4 victory. I don't see any more Op 4 on the map. There it is. All right. We'll be back in an hour and a half for DayZ. Paid out to Blue 4. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. We'll have Plinko soon. Otherwise, cheers, and have a good one.